shit.
Hightailed it out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go between them!
Go between them, are you crazy?
Welcome to my home.
Hello, hello. All right. So yeah, I did all that talking. I have to edit that out. That's ridiculous. So anyway, this thing updated, and it's not my computer. It's the program that I use, Talk Studio. I have to go in and then turn my mic off and then turn it back on in order for the mic to work. Like it's like a weird thing. It's a new thing for the update, and I forgot about it today. So, it sucks. But good morning. I'm not gonna go into all the craziness, but I was talking about physical media and the things that I'll be getting into, the move, doing all that stuff, and these are the things I'm going to be watching today. The first one here is Along Came a Spider. I really enjoyed this movie. I've had it on VHS. I've never had it on anything else, but yeah, this is a movie that when it first came out, early 2000s movie. I picked this up for sure, and big fan, definitely a big fan of this movie, and I watch it every couple of years, easy. But man, I probably should upgrade it. But solid film. If you haven't seen it, Morgan Freeman. He's investigating a kidnapping, and then there's a twist in it. And it's a high-profile case with super rich kids in this really high-profile school, and it seems like one of the teachers did it. And like you have presidents and celebrities, kids like this is like a super high secure school. Like nobody should be able to be kidnapped, and they were kidnapped from there. And yeah, I enjoyed this one, so that's what I'm going to be revisiting. But then I mentioned this one, Fatal Instinct. I picked it up in my Hamilton book order, and I'm not a big spoof movie kind of guy, and so it's one of those, it's an olive film. So I added it to the collection no matter what. But this is one that I just kind of skipped when it first came out. I do remember seeing this movie poster and, people talking about it. But I'm just not a big, huge spoof movie guy. But my tastes have changed. So maybe I might like it now. And then in me talking about that and modern cinema, I've been very vocal on a lot of modern movies. I haven't been a big fan, and why. But I recently watched Play Dirty with Mark Wahlberg. I enjoyed it. It's a streaming movie, but it's something that it's kind of frustrated. It's frustrated because is it going to come to physical media? Probably not. And then in that conversation, like there's that really big movie with Leonardo DiCaprio that Scorsese directed it. That one, the Flower Moon movie, that one in America, there's no physical media release. There's a bunch of options in Italy, and I think it's another place in Europe where you can get it. One of them says 4K region B locked, which is not supposed to be a thing. But all the other ones are just regular 4Ks, and they seem to be fine. And it's just frustrating that even they even got steelbooks. So they got options. They got the regular slipcover version. They got the steelbook option. They got options in Europe, and we got nothing. And apparently, all the people that put out movies tried to approach Apple for this, and they declined. But then they put it out overseas because of getting that money. And I don't understand. I don't like people constantly say the money's not there. People are begging for this stuff, and the companies are choosing not to put it out. So if they're able to put it out in Europe, over in Italy, when they still stream, you can get Apple TV in other countries. You can get Netflix in other countries, and so these streaming services are willing to put out physical media in foreign countries, but not here. It seems like the bigger play of they just want everything on streaming. They don't want to put this stuff out anymore. But this is where the money is. Like people spend a ton of money on this stuff, and they over the years it's just a poor business model. But anyway, so I digress. Let's see. Assault and Matrimony. This is the next one I'll be watching. I've seen this one over the year. I saw this when I was a kid. It was a TV movie. This was a hard to find VHS. And as I talked about this many times, like people are like, oh, it's available on YouTube. So I think it's copyright because it comes down. Like it goes up on YouTube and then it comes down. But it's Assault and Matrimony. There's a laser disc, which is really expensive. There was this VHS. It's the only one I ever found, but every now and again I can find one on eBay. But other than that, I don't know anybody who's seen the movie. I think it's super fun, but I remember watching this on TV back in the late 90s or early 90s, late 80s maybe. But anyway, they're married. She loves the house. He wants to sell it there because his neighbor is selling his house for a ton of money, and they're not in really a happy marriage. But then they decide they want to kill each other, and it really is a dark comedy, and almost like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Like it kind of has that aspect of it because every time they try to kill each other, just by dumb luck, they miss, and the other person just manages to walk away unscratched. And I freaking love it, and so I'll be revisiting this one. And then this movie, we're talking about the Toxic Avenger and all the Troma films, and I only own like 3 Troma films. It's this one, and the other one I think it's called Savage Seduction, which I still haven't seen yet because it's like a rated R Troma film, and I was like, when am I going to watch that? Everyone's got to go to bed. Can't watch it around the kid. Troma films are not really kid friendly usually. And so then as we were talking about that, I couldn't remember the name of this movie, and so I dug it out, and I'm going to watch this. So it's Getting Lucky, and if you haven't seen this, it's a fun movie. And at the beginning of this DVD, Lloyd Kaufman was talking about how he was shocked that this was actually getting a DVD release. He never expected it to, and so I would like this and other Troma films to come to Blu-ray, and as the Toxic Avengers getting traction with the new reboot and all that stuff, and other Troma films are getting put out on Blu-ray now. Now, this is one I'd like them to pick up. So if you haven't seen it, this nerd wants to get with a girl, and he finds a leprechaun at the bottom of a beer bottle. So it's a drunk leprechaun, and he makes mistakes all the time. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there's one scene I remember, like I watched it when I was a kid, and I couldn't remember what it was until I found this film as an adult. But it was the scene, like the leprechaun shrinks them down by accident. And so then they're on her bike seat. She sits down wearing this skirt. So now they're in her underwear. And so you have this like giant special effects of them hanging on for dear life. And it's stupid, ridiculous, but I like it. So I'll be revisiting this at some point today, this weekend. And this one, I picked it up a while ago, but I tried watching it, and then I got distracted. I don't remember exactly what happened. If the kid and the wife came downstairs and they wanted to watch something else, and not that it was like really inappropriate, but it's I'm pretty sure it's rated R. It's a movie that came out in 1997, but it stars Billy Bob Thornton, Jim Meltzer, Kay Lenz, and John Ritter. And it's called A Gun, a Car, and a Blonde. And I think this has only been on DVD as well. So it's something I'd like to try to finish watching because it was interesting. It's like, seems like I guess like a modern noir, like kind of who done it, what's going on kind of film. And I don't know, I was only like 15, 20 minutes into it. So I'd like to try to finish that. And that's what I'm going to be diving into this weekend. But sure, let me know what you guys are going to be diving into, because as always, I might find something I want to add to my wish list and stuff I'd like to knock out because maybe I've never seen it. Yes, and everyone's telling me how much I did not have my audio on. And I do apologize about that, but it is this dumb thing. It always, like, the video works fine, and then it says I'm muted. Like when I go live, it's like you're muted, and then when it like pops up, and then my picture pops up, it says you're unmuted. But then I have no sound because this new update, I have to literally manually go in and click it off and then click it back on for it to work. Really sad we didn't get Friday in 4K this year from Warner. I think it was in the leak schedule for 2025. Yeah, it is kind of, but you never know. There could be rights issues going on. There could be some kind of music thing where people want more money, and it could have pushed it onto a delay. So in those leaks, like obviously it was leaked, but tentatively, we weren't supposed to have that information. So stuff can always get pushed off. And there's this what is this website, teasertrailer.com, and I like to use that because it shows all the movies that are scheduled to come out. And if you go back, because like from the 2009 to December 2014, so technically into 2015, in that time frame, I didn't see as many movies because that's when I was in the Navy. And so I always go back to that, and then as I go back to that to then see what I missed during those years, and maybe I want to check them out or pick them up, and I just put them on my radar. there's always like a big giant thing at the end of like movies that were talked about, they were scheduled, they were originally going to come out back then, and they didn't come out until many years later, or not at all. And that's something that's always been interesting to me. But it is kind of sucky that we got the leak and we didn't get the movie. Well, good news is my coffee is hot and your room is still beautiful. Yes, yes. It's going to stay beautiful until I can finish, like, and I really just, like, this room's kind of destroyed. I got boxes. I got to pack up a bunch of stuff that I'm sending out to a friend, laser discs and movies and stuff. And, like, he already knows a lot of the stuff he's getting. But going through my collection and things I don't need anymore, or things I have doubles of. I found, like, a whole box of sealed VHS tapes, things with, like, Godfather 1 and 2 sealed VHS and like other things. So I'm going to send a lot of that stuff over to him as well. And so I got boxes over here in the corner and I'm just trying to pack that up. But as soon as I'm done with that kind of mess and everything, then I'm going to finish up the video, because I've been working on it for a while, is the room tour video. And I was trying to be all fancy and, figure out this editing thing and try just to be a better entertainer, a better YouTuber. But I think I'm just going to do the boring plain. This is my room. This is where I keep my stuff, and like just kind of show you to knock it out, because in the editing, it takes a lot of time and effort, and I don't have a lot of time right now. Like like I said, I'm trying to get this house ready to have the movers come. It's just a ridiculous thing. And then, yeah, so it is coming, but then there's going to be a time where there's going to be nothing on these shelves, and very soon, because they're, like I said, they're coming on the 31st. So I have like basically a little over a 2-week window to knock all that stuff out, and then I'll start packing up a lot of this stuff. Let's see. Sounds good now. Yeah, no, I know. It's just it's a thing, and I've been remembering to do it, and then it's just this morning it was a little chaotic, and then right when I went to come up here, I brought my coffee cup up here, but then my daughter woke up, and she normally wakes up in the middle of the stream and just kind of does her own thing, helps herself to breakfast, watches cartoons, does her own thing. But she woke up and she was like, "I'm hungry. I want pasta." And it was like 10 minutes before I had to go. And yes, she's a ridiculous person. She has a milk allergy. So she doesn't eat like cereal, and she doesn't eat like things like that. And there's a lot of things she can't eat because there's milk in everything. And she's a weird one. She likes pasta for breakfast, and it's not the first time she's had it. And so she asked for that this morning, and so that's what we did. And I forgot my coffee cup was up here. So then I was late because I was down there looking for the damn coffee cup. But yes, and then I forgot to do the sound because I was late. Morning from Vermont. Good morning, Video Pro. Good morning, brother. I think they leaked the 4K on Friday. Just acknowledged it had an anniversary this year. We do assume that means a 4K though. Oh yeah, there was something. There was like some in the, I don't remember now, but I thought there was like something in the leaks where it did say anniversary years, and then like stuff was like, this is getting a 4K. I thought there was like 2 little pictures of that stuff. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? You never know. It could have been, the whole thing could have been faked. You never know. Let's see. And morning, Mark. Morning, brother. Good morning from Canada, where it's our Thanksgiving weekend, and in my neck of the woods, it's 39 degrees. Well, it's well into fall here, and happy Thanksgiving in Canada. And so, like, I broke out the flat cap, and it's colder weather, so it's one of those things. And then it just dawned on me yesterday. So they're coming to pick us up or pick our stuff up, but one of the things that they will never move is plants. And I have a lot of house plants. Like, I'm a collector. I collect things, and I don't go crazy overboard, but in the movies, I have a ton of movies, but I have plants, and I have a lot of house plants, and I don't have as many as I used to, because like a couple of years ago, I had like 130 or 100, like I had a lot of house plants, and now I think I have like 26, but they're all big. They're like monster, ridiculous house plants, and we have to move them, and we have to take them, and it's a multiple day trip, and we're stopping at a hotel. And then it just dawned on me that I can't leave them in the car because it's the fall weather. They're going to die. they're gonna die. So then, it's one of those things. It's frustrating. This whole move is very hectic and chaotic. But December, like the first week of December, we should be solid on everything. Let's see. Hope you're having a great week, 80s. I have been having a pretty good week. It's just, it's just like I said, it's busy with the move and stressful and dealing with stuff. And then my wife is in school down in Florida. You know, she had to be there for a couple weeks, and so she's away from us. And then the whole government shut down, and we don't know if we're going to get paid on the 15th. Like it's like a whole crazy thing. And then with her being down there, she's got to eat. We got to eat. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So, never seen this, but it's on my list now. All right. Chilly Denver morning, 54 degrees. Oh man, I can't wait to be in Denver. I can't, like, two reasons. So one, I'm tired of this area. I've lived here for a long time because I did 6 years in the Navy. 4 years of that was here in Virginia, like Norfolk area. And then I got out of the Navy. I moved home back to New York. And then, when I got married, my wife decided to re-enlist. And so she ended up being back here. So we've been back here for a long time. And I've been in Virginia for about a decade. I'm tired of it. But looking forward to moving to Denver. And then when I looked up like what's available, because around here, it's a military town, so like nobody really has roots, and so thrift stores, they're hit or miss what you're going to get, and then some stuff's expensive. There's the thrift store that I used to go to all the time, Dave's. It's like DAVS, and there's a couple of them in the area, and they used to be pretty good. But then as of lately, I don't know if it's all the resellers on YouTube going, "Oh, I made this much money selling all this crap from thrift stores." I don't know if it's them that caused it, but like I go into thrift stores now, and I was like, I might as well go to an actual furniture store. I might as well buy the stuff on eBay because the prices here are absolutely ridiculous. And so then I went to the Salvation Army, and I was like, their furniture was also crazy priced, I thought, but then they had some things I picked up and it was pretty cheap. So it's just like, it's weird. But when I looked at for going to Denver, there's like a bunch of plant shops in Denver, and like I said, I love house plants. But then there's like all the different things I like to do. And there's a couple used bookstores, and so I'm looking forward to it. A whole new adventure and stuff to find. And I like the cold. I really do. I like to wear hoodies and warm clothes, and man, I'm tired of the heat. And I've always been a bigger guy, and so it's like the heat is just killer, man. Can't wait to be in Denver. And good morning, everyone. Good morning, TJ. Good morning, brother. Let's see.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone!
Ah, yes, everyone. Let's see. Let's see. Someone else like jump backwards. Let's see. Almond milk too? No, she can have almond milk because it's made from nuts. It's the dairy. It's the actual dairy stuff. She can't have, and there's a lot of milk and dairy stuff in everything. Things you wouldn't think. Like if you made it at home, there's zero milk, but you buy it in the store, you read the pack, there's milk in it. It's ridiculous. And then she's not a cereal person. She's a very picky eater. So cereal, she takes forever. Like it would get soggy. She would be frustrated. Like food has to be perfect. And I've always joked, I think like before my daughter was a kid, I think she was a cat. I think in a previous life, she was a cat. She's always acted like a cat, always been fussy like that. And like you can give her her favorite meal. And if it's the flavor or something's off by just a little bit, she'll just push it aside and be like, "Thanks for dinner," with an attitude. And it's just like, okay. Yeah, so yeah, the almond, we make pudding with almond milk, which is it's like the recipe changes a little bit. And then we make most everything with almond milk or lard. And with her and her allergy over the She's going to be 9 this November. She's going to be 9. And so over the 9 years, I have learned to cook differently and change things. And some things, I can deal without butter and dairy. We pretty much cut out most of it. We still have butter every now and again, but like cutting out all that stuff, it just changes things. But there's a few recipes and a few things there where I'm like, it's not the same. It's not the same. But most everything, just switching butter for lard is great. Pasta. Anyone in particular that's interesting is all. We had this morning Johnny Marzetti. It's basically it's a hamburger and elbow noodles with red sauce. So, and you can add things to it, mushrooms, onions, whatever. But it's generally just hamburger with pasta noodles, red sauce. It's 89 already in my part of Texas. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I'm tired of the heat, man. Criterion is releasing Friday on 4K, I believe. Well, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I would pick that up. Thoughts on portable DVD players? Oh, I have one. I have a nice one. It's over there. And I use it regularly. I have a Panasonic, and I lucked out. I just happened to find it at the thrift store. It was one of those magic finds where it wasn't overpriced. It was $6, and it was hardly ever used. Whoever bought it, a bag, all the accessories, the car charger, like all the stuff, and then probably took it on one vacation trip and then never used it again. The screen was immaculate. The battery that it comes with, the battery pack, you can use it with a cord or you can use it off the battery. Still holds a really good charge. So I really honestly doubt that they ever really used it. It's this old Panasonic, and you can't find it on eBay. They're usually all beat up and scratched up, and they're like over $100. So I like them. I really want to pick up a portable Blu-ray player. There's a nice Sony, but those are usually still on the pricier end. But like I said, I lucked out. I found mine, but I like it. I use it regularly. A lot of times, because I have this old CRT tube television right here, and I have this hooked up to my VCR. So I watch. It's an old black and white one too, so it's not special, but it's fun. And so I watch VCR tapes while I'm doing some work here. But then there's times where I want to watch a DVD. I just put the portable DVD player here. I take it to my in-laws on a regular basis every time we go because they don't have movies. They always watch sports, and I'd rather just watch a movie. So I do that. Long road trips. My wife is... I don't mind driving. I have no problem driving. I have none of that. I'm perfectly fine. My wife has built-in road rage, whether she's driving or not. And so I'd rather just, if she wants to yell at people and flip them off and swear and just do all that, I'd rather her just be the driver and I'll just sit in the passenger seat. So a lot of times we go on long road trips and I just sit in the passenger seat and I break out that portable DVD player. I have a Panasonic. When I met my wife, she had an RCA and it worked fine, but the quality of the picture wasn't as good. And depending on that. So, I mean, I would personally stick with like a Sony or a Panasonic, but get whatever you can. I know they still make them off brands. I've seen them at Walmart. I don't know what they are, but they're new, so they're going to probably last a little bit. There's my 2 cents, I guess. Is it worth getting into DVD physical media? I've been finding DVDs cheap, but I know they're not 4K or Blu-rays. Yeah, like honestly, there's like I'm not crazy, but there's people that are like obsessed with 4K or Blu-ray, and more than likely it's because they spent all the money on their equipment. But then as like I hear the comments and I read the comments, I'm like, you probably don't have a great television. As they're like, DVDs are unwatchable, and I was like, I don't have a budget TV. I have a Sony OLED and up converts that signal, but I have these old CRT televisions, and I have the old that right there is just a 1080p LCD high definition TV. DVDs look great on that. They look great here. On my TV downstairs, a lot of my DVDs in my collection look good. Some better than others. It depends on what kind of master they had. But then there's like few, like Son-in-Law. Son-in-Law looks horrible on my TV downstairs, the DVD, but it's the only thing. There's no Blu-ray. There's no 4K. There's a ton of, like I have probably, without even counting, I probably have like 60 or 80 DVDs that have never been put out on Blu-ray. And there's a lot more. There's a ton more. So yes, I think it's totally worth getting DVDs. But there are people that say, you know, in this time, 2025, if you're buying DVDs, you're stupid. Like I get those comments all the time. And I was like, it's about watching the movie. It's not about the format. And I totally get it. If you bought a budget television and it doesn't do any upconverting, it doesn't have a great picture. Yeah, maybe the DVDs don't look great, or the ones you just happen to have or try out, like Son-in-Law, looks horrible. But there's plenty of like the Nightmare on Elm Street DVDs up there. Those were part of that HD master when they redid them, and those look amazing. Like, granted, the Blu-rays, the 4Ks probably look, you know, the 4Ks look amazing. Probably, I didn't get mine. I don't know what's going on with that. But then. I watched those recently. The DVDs look great on my television downstairs. So yeah, I honestly think DVDs worth getting into. But I made it a point to. I used to just, because they're cheap. I used to just buy whatever. If I found it, I never saw it before, I was interested, I treated it like a rental. If I didn't like it, I returned it. You know, for $1 or $2, sometimes 50 cents, depending on what where you are in the world or in America, where, you know, some places have great deals, some places don't. When I lived in Rhode Island, DVDs were always $1. VHS tapes were always 50 cents. And now here in Virginia, DVDs are always the cheapest is $2. But sometimes I've seen them as like $5, $6 for used at the thrift store. And then VHS tapes anywhere between $1, $2, depending. And so, yeah, obviously you can get them, but that's still pretty cheap. It's cheaper than a rental. But then I had like 500 or 600 DVDs. And then when I whittled it down and I got rid of most of them, if it had a Blu-ray or a 4K, whether it was here in America or I could import it somewhere in the world, there was a Blu-ray somewhere, I got rid of those DVDs, and I'm left with maybe about 100 DVDs total. And then a few of them I've kept because, you know, even though I have the Blu-ray or I have the 4K, I like to bring those and watch them on my portable DVD player when I go to the in-laws. So yeah, I honestly think it's worth it. But just the sheer amount of movies that have never been put out on Blu-ray, I think it's still worth collecting. Let's see. Yeah, best brands. Honestly, I would stick with Sony or Panasonic. Find stuff on eBay, and make sure, you know, if sometimes they just show pictures because they're just resellers. They find it at thrift stores. They don't care. Just, you know, make sure that it actually turns on at least. Sometimes those battery packs, like, they're all worn out and you got to get rid of them, and maybe you can't replace the battery pack, but it'll still plug in and charge. I mean, work off the plug. So you got that option. But yeah, I'd stick a Sony, Panasonic, Toshiba, any of those higher end brands. You're going to fork over a little bit more money, especially on eBay, but they're going to have the best picture. If you just want something to work, you can go to Walmart and get one of those knockoff weird brands, like whatever it is. Sorry, it's House Party that's getting that Criterion announced. Oh yeah, House Party did get announced. Dad is going to be a pickup for sure. I love House Party. It only had a DVD, never got a Blu-ray. So really looking forward to that Criterion, because that's one I've had in my collection and I revisit it often. What's up, James? Good morning, brother. I'd really recommend adding Old Stone from Kino Lorber to your wish list. It's 2016 foreign film, but the thing that left me impressed was the traditional cinematography and how fresh the narrative was. Big fan of that stuff. Let me go ahead and write this down. Let's see. Paper right here. Let's see. Old Stone. Old 2016 for sure. Let's see. Hopefully we get a UK Ultimate Collector's Edition 4K for Boogie Nights. Yeah, and that's going to come up. We're going to talk about that. I wasn't sure about, you know, how stable the internet is, and if I pull up a window, is it going to, you know, be an issue. But yeah, Boogie Nights, and I'm kind of disappointed by Boogie Nights. You know, let's pull it up now. Let's pull it up now. Let's see. I think I got it. I'm kind of disappointed by Boogie Nights. Like, you know, I want it. I like it. I have the Blu-ray, but I did just recently get the Blu-ray. Because I think I had the DVD for years. Let's see, where is this? I know I just saw this. Thriller. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. Let's see, share the screen. All right. So I like the fact that you're not just getting that original artwork that we've seen on pretty much every single release ever. It's the orange and it's the whole 70s vibe, and it's got the cartoon drawing of Mark Wahlberg unzipping his pants. Like, that's what we've always gotten. So to get these two options here, I like it, but I don't know. I might go against my like no steelbook policy and pick this up and then just put it in a protector, because I freaking love the artwork on the steelbook here. And I'm kind of disappointed that wasn't the artwork on the cover. And so I'm tempted to just make my own custom cover, because I hate the silver banner anyway, and then just print off this and make that my custom cover. I might as well just do that, because I like it. It's different. You know, we have Heather Graham sitting there with a camera, Roller Girl. It's different. I haven't seen that before, and you know, it's nice. But again, this ugly silver banner just ruins it completely. And then the steelbook, which, you know, I haven't been buying steelbooks unless they come in like a big chunky set. I think that's fantastic, and more than likely that's AI art. Maybe it's not, but when you zoom in and look at it, it's designed to kind of look like a comic book. So it's got like the dot matrix. I don't know if that's what they call it, but it's got the little black dots, like really when you really look into it. So it almost looks like an old comic book kind of thing. But I'm getting the vibe that maybe it's AI art. But either way, I think it looks fantastic. I like this steelbook. I'm not going to get it. I know I'm not going to get it, but printing off a custom cover and doing that for the slipcover, I might do that. But we're getting options, so that's always nice, because lately we haven't been getting options. It's been the steelbook only, but this is coming from Warner Brothers, and that's a good thing. But as we've talked about that, like very recently, we found out that Warner Brothers is kind of for sale, and there's people, you know, kind of looking into it, and we're not going to get this same kind of treatment, I don't think. Once another company gets gobbled up, options are limited. So yeah, I would grab that, and not to push the FOMO, but if you really want it, I would grab that sooner than later, because I foresee these steelbooks hitting eBay for stupid crazy prices once they go out of print, and then if Warner gets sold off, is that going to come out again? Just my 2 cents. Again, not trying to push the FOMO, but yeah, that's one for sure. Let's see, what do we got? But yeah, like a big giant Ultimate Collector's Edition for the UK 4K Boogie, like a nice big chunky box set. Day one purchase for sure. I would get that in a heartbeat. Psychonauts or not Daddy. Army myself, Navy guy, nice. Yeah, brother. No, it's you know, military's military. But yes, I was in the Navy. And I got, you know, like sometimes there's a rivalry, you know, like when I don't know, I've seen it. It's just weird. But in real life, like military's military. Let's see. Mark's movie menu. When you get here, check out Twist and Shout, Vinegar Syndrome Store, and Angelo's, all for collector movies and music. Nice. I knew about Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know if you're the one who told me, but a while back somebody said that Vinegar Syndrome was in Denver. So I'm looking into that one. I'm super excited. I'm going to make videos. I'm going to go visit. It's going to be good times. And then not guaranteeing anything, because I said my wife has put a kibosh on internet friends. Like I can have internet friends, and like some people I've given my phone number out to. We stay in contact on a regular basis, but I kind of pull it back a little bit just because I have gotten death threats. I have been told to do horrible things to myself over my videos. Over, like, I don't understand, over my opinions on movies, and you know, just these videos. It's crazy to me. So with those horror stories, I have kind of stepped back from that. But maybe we could do like a meetup or something like that, because it is one of those things. Like, why not? But I'm not, like I said, I'm not promising anything. But because the wife is more scared than I am. Like, I'm not scared. I like to protect my family, kind of thing. But my wife's like, man, there's crazy people out there. I'm like, you should read some of these comments for sure. But yeah, Vinegar Syndrome, yeah, definitely gonna hit that up. Let's see, Past life cat seems to fit the bill via your description. Oh, for sure, man. Like, I find her like laying on the floor. Like, if I put something down, like if I get the laundry out and I put it on the floor to fold it because I like to, fold it in the living room while I'm like watching TV or whatever. And by the time I get back, I'm, putting the load in the dryer. I get back, she's on top of it like cat, like rolling around in warm clothes, and I was like, "You're almost 9. Knock that off!" Like, yeah, for sure. She's definitely like a cat. Let's see, I use mine. Nice, nice. Brought my portable to Europe while I was in Poland last year. Binder of movies. It was good enough for this guy. Oh, for sure. For sure. Like I said, I don't like we don't travel super far anymore, but living in Colorado, in-laws are in Ohio, like that's a good trip for sure. And I was using that on the much shorter trip. So yeah, I'll be using that. I'll be using that when we go. How is Magnavox brand portable DVD player? I'm sure it's fine. Like all those, I have when I used to sell TVs and electronics when I worked at Circuit City, Magnavox was always that like not the cheapest brand, but like that middle road cheaper brand, and you could see it just side by side. Like it worked. Magnavox TV worked, the DVD players worked, they worked. But when you look at them side by side to, the Panasonics, the Toshibas, the Mitsubishis, the Sonys, like when you see them side by side, just the quality of the picture was always better on the other TVs. But if you didn't see those and you just had the Magnavox TV, it was fine. It was perfect. So I would assume it'd be the same. As far as like reliability, is it going to last you long? I have no idea. I've always personally tried to get the best that I could afford, and if I had to save up for it and that type of stuff, so I wouldn't. But if that's your option, if you're getting the Mag, go ahead and get it. I would say you're probably going to enjoy it if it's something you're into, and then even down the road, if you come across like a better brand, pick it up. If you completely ward off DVD, you're missing access to many, many films. Oh, for sure. For sure. And like, that's the thing. I have VHS tapes like this one here, and I have several. I have like the one I just picked up. I forget what it was called, but I just picked up one I did in my last haul video, and that one here, Short Time doesn't have anything. You got VHS, you got a Laserdisc, and not many people have Laserdisc players anymore. I do, and I've been getting into Laserdisc, and man, is it fun. But also trying to think about moving this stuff. It's heavy. Those are very heavy. But this movie here, like you might be able to find this online somewhere, but there's no official release, no DVD, no Blu-ray, and it's one of the harder VHS I was able to find years ago. I'm glad I have it. And so it's like one of those things where I'm like, I don't care about the format. It really is about the movie. Like this one here, this movie, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And it's an odd movie, but I couldn't find it. It was on my radar for a long time. When I finally found it on eBay, I pulled the trigger, and it's No Such Thing. And funny enough, it came from a used bookstore in Denver. So I'm going back to Denver with my movie. But yeah, this movie here, it's an interesting one. It's got a great cast, some kind of fantasy, weird movie, something they wouldn't make today. But this one here, you're not going to get this anywhere unless you get the DVD. Yeah, tons of movies. And like someone like, and the argument always is like, well, those are just shitty movies. Like that's what people put in the comments all the time. They're just shitty movies. Well, maybe to you, but one, it's always that thing of like one man's trash, another man's treasure. Like your taste in movies are going to be different. We might have some overlap, but I might, like Hell Comes to Frogtown. I bring that up all the time. I love that movie. I think it's fantastic. I understand it's dumb, but I think it's great. And I recommend everyone watch it. But I know that there are tons of people hate the movie and they just think it's dumb, but I don't. I love it. And that one would be like, yeah, I have the Blu-ray and I missed out on the big chunky box set of it. But like if that came out to, and I also have it on VHS, but if it came out to 4K, that'd be a day one pickup for sure. I have to get rid of HD DVDs. My player officially stopped working and I don't feel like trying to find another one. Oh, brother. I do have a working HD DVD player and I do collect HD DVDs. So, yeah, we got to, if you're trying to get rid of it, maybe we should do something. Let's see. But I don't know. The move, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being overzealous and excited. Let's see. Yeah, because like the move, the government shutdown, I was like funds are tight, finances are tight. It's why, yeah, I'm just, yeah, maybe I'll hold off. But it is intriguing. Let's see. I'll buy a DVD if the movie isn't on Blu-ray or 4K. Right. No, and that's the focus now. Like it used to be whatever I would find if I had never seen it before, it was a no-brainer. Picking it up for $1, it was coming home with me. As long as it wasn't all scratched up and it was just a beautiful looking disc, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I never had any issues with disc rot, and the movies come home, and I've enjoyed those. But then I filled up this entire shelf. I had, like I said, it was about 500 movies, and I went through them all, and like I got rid of everything that had a Blu-ray or 4K and now the goal, and I picked up one the other day, and I didn't think it had a Blu-ray, and somebody informed me that it did, but I think it was also long out of print. But it basically, if it has a Blu-ray at some point, I'm not getting it, and it really is just about space kind of thing. It's like I'd rather just get the Blu-ray at that point. But yeah, so most, like I would say 90% of my DVD collection is only movies that have never been put out on another format. And good morning, Arthur. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Boogie Nights 4K is completely delisted from Amazon, and Blu-ray is listed at back MSRP for $24.99. The 4K should be back. Okay. Wow. I'm keeping my I'm just keeping my DVD. I'm good. I don't feel like I need to upgrade everything. And that's the thing, is you don't have to upgrade everything. Now there's things that I want to upgrade. And like I said, Son-in-Law, the DVD in here on my old CRT television looks good. Downstairs, it looks like crap. And you're like, man, I want to upgrade. I want a Blu-ray. I want a 4K. But there's plenty of movies like this one. Let's see, this one here. Peeper with Michael Caine and Natalie Wood. I love this film, but I was like, I don't know if I need to like drop the money on like a $25 or a $30 Blu-ray if it ever got released. And maybe it does have a Blu-ray and I just didn't realize. But this is a movie that I enjoyed, and I'm trying to collect all the Natalie Wood films, and so it would be on the list of things I might want to upgrade. But at the amount of times that I watched the film, maybe I'll just keep my DVD. And so that always comes to a thing, like, you know, I always get asked, like, are you getting this release? Are you getting that release? And I'm like, I'm good. And like for the longest time, I'm giving it away. Killer Clowns. So Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I had set it aside to do to talk about it and do a video. I did set it aside for something, and then it ended up downstairs, and my daughter put it in the closet downstairs instead of up here with all the Arrow Video stuff. And I had imported it from the UK. It's Region B, Arrow Video. It's locked to Region B. You can only watch it on a region free player, or if you live in the UK. And so that was one of the main reasons I ended up getting a region free player. And I had that movie, and then I had it for ever on Blu-ray. Very happy with that release. And then the 4K got released. And everyone's like, oh my God, are you going to upgrade? Are you going to upgrade? And it was only when we were in the middle of like giving stuff to Goodwill, and I was thinking maybe it got put in one of those Goodwill bags by accident, and my kid wasn't paying attention, and because she doesn't pay attention. Like there's many times I tell her to, you know, go do something in one room, and I find her walking upstairs. It's just like kids don't listen. So I'm thinking maybe like it got put in the wrong bag, got donated. So then I bought the 4K, and then like the day that it came in the mail, I found the Blu-ray. So I'll be giving the Blu-ray away. But if I hadn't done that, like if I hadn't kind of lost it and thinking it went to Goodwill, I probably would have just kept my Blu-ray and never upgraded that 4K. As I thought the Blu-ray is a beautiful picture. I think the 4K is also a beautiful picture, but it's not a huge leap in quality. It's a good leap in quality, but I think it was fine. And so, yeah, it turns into that, like, you don't need to upgrade everything. But it is frustrating too to like do this, and people are like, are you going to get this release? Are you going to get that release? And I want them all. I really do. But I was like, if I already have it, like, what's the point of double dipping on every movie? I'm already like quadruple dipping on those ones there. So, well, you know, like I buy them all. So it's just like, frustrating. And then next year, like I don't do the New Year's resolution thing, but next year the goal is to get things that are out of print and things that are just long gone that I've wanted to have in my collection. I've had on my radar for a long time that might be on the pricier side, and adding those things to the collection because I have a good library. Like I said, close to 3,000 movies. I've been getting rid of some stuff. So it was about 3,000. Now it's like, I think it's like 2,700. I have to check. And it also includes the TV shows too. And so, yeah, with that, like, you know, do I need to constantly upgrade, or getting the holy grails for my collection? And then there's like some Leon releases that I missed out on that are now like $250, and they're expensive, and I want them. I want them. So I think that's going to be pretty much my goal for next year, is to try to knock out some of my holy grail movies and out of print stuff. And you know, I've worked on some of that this year, but it's you know, it's hectic trying to get everything. Let's see. Been waiting for Boogie Nights forever. Hope we don't get screwed with it getting sold out. I haven't found any place to get it yet. Yeah, I hope we don't get screwed either. But I also kind of feel like it's a release that they're going to put out a bunch. I don't think it's going to be like crazy limited. I mean, I'm sure at some point it'll be out of print, but it's, I don't know, it's a studio release. They're doing both the steelbook and the standard slipcover. Maybe the steelbook will sell out pretty fast, and then I guarantee you're going to see a bunch of those on eBay. Oh, we were talking about that. Oh, let's see, what is this? How's the Magnavox brand in general? They have a portable DVD player. I see. Like I said, like it's. I mean, it's okay. Like, you know, I could tell you buy a Sony all day long, and then you could buy it and it could break tomorrow. So as far as like reliability goes, I wouldn't say one's better over the other. You know, reliability, they're probably all about the same, but the quality of the picture on when I used to sell this stuff, like the Magnavox, when you looked at it all by itself, it was okay. It was decent. But then when you compared it to the other stuff, you could see that those were better. So I think the Magnavox will be fine. It's a little tiny screen anyway. You're going to be watching DVDs close to you or on a table or on your lap or whatever. And so I think it'd be fine. Like I said, pick it up. If you can get it, especially for a good price, pick it up as long as it works fine. And then, you know, if you really find yourself using it a ton, maybe, you know, try to find a better quality one later. Let's see. Yeah, I've been thinking about possibly doing community meetup at Orbit DVD, but same with the wife. A little iffy about it. But I'm like you, in a public place, why not? That's the thing. Like, and then we're going to be living in military housing. Like, you can't really get in unless you're in the military. It's like one of those things. Like, I should not have any of you guys like knocking on the door. Like, and that's the thing. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be a thing, but you hear horror stories, and so it's always like that better safe than sorry thing. But yeah, why not? Why not meet up in a public place? Why not? And like Sithabrick just moved here, and he's like here now, and we talked about maybe doing like a meetup thing, but then the wife took the car because she's in Florida. She's got to do the Florida thing for, you know, school for a little while, and then I got my kid. So like, it's kind of sucky. I would have liked to, you know, hang out with him, you know, at least have a beer and like just chat it up and like go somewhere public and just hang out and like just talk about movies and like whatever. But it's one of those things where it's just like timing kind of sucked. But yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Not opposed to it. The wife is definitely opposed to it. Thoughts on the new Google Pixel phones? I hate them all. I honestly hate them all. I mean, it's probably a good phone. I've been stuck in the Apple thing because I got the MacBook, I got the Macintosh, I got the iMac here. I've had them for decades, and so I have the Apple phone, and I hate it. I hate phones. And right before I got this, I actually was thinking about just not having a phone. I don't use it. Very rarely does my wife actually text me and that I need to actually respond. Like, it's very rarely is it one of those things. Nobody ever calls me. And so like very recently, you know, I've made some internet friends, and, you know, we've been texting back and forth, but like until then, like I have a friend in Australia and a friend in the Philippines, and we stay in contact through Twitter DMs. And so, cause like texting is kind of out, but like, yeah, so it's like, I'm not a phone guy. I've never been a phone guy. I just have it reluctantly. And then the whole government spying thing, it's just kind of like, I'm not like a tinfoil hat guy, but they admitted it. And so like, I'm like, why do I need this thing? That's just my mentality. And then I got kicked off of Twitter, and I mean not Twitter. Well, yeah, I did at one point. I got kicked off Twitter, but I got kicked off. Somebody hacked my account. I got kicked off Instagram, and then I tried like a while. I tried to appeal it. They wouldn't tell me why. They just said I broke the rules on Facebook, but I don't use Facebook, and so like so I think somebody hacked my Facebook and did something wrong or inappropriate, and that's like another reason like why I don't want to like do the the being wary about internet friends, because you trust the wrong person, then next thing you know you're getting your stuff hacked and they're whatever. I can't find out what I did wrong. They just said I did something wrong, and they canceled my Instagram, and then I tried to appeal it. They gave it back for like a day, and then they took it back, and then I couldn't have one. And then like a couple months ago, I tried to do another account. I started following all the movie people. I posted a few things of my movie room, and I did that, and I used the phone to do that. So that was a nice thing, but they took it away from me. So it's like I can't. And so then they took the second account again, and they said that they thought that my account was associated with one that was banned, and that they banned this account, and I could appeal it. And so then I did, and then I tried to they were like, put your phone number in. I put that in. They're like, you got to use a different phone number. And so they wouldn't give me the account back. But then I took a picture of a plant. I opened up another account, and then I just followed plant stuff. And I've had an Instagram account, and I don't post anything. I've had an Instagram account now following plant stuff and a few things that I'm interested in. It's just like they let me have that. They let me have that account. But if I do anything with the movies, I get red flagged or something. So I don't know what this person did when they hacked my Facebook account. But then however they did it, they also hacked my Twitter, because that got taken away. Then they gave it back to me, and then I just quit that because I'd stopped using it for so long. I just started a whole new Twitter account, and then that's been fine. It's been fine. So yeah, long story short, I hate phones. I have no real thoughts. I think it's fine. But yeah, that's the thing. Thank you, sir. No problem, brother. Great movie. Yes. Bought a copy. I bought an HDX copy of No Such Thing on Vudu. Still looking forward to seeing it. Yes. Yeah, like I'm telling you, like I still got to watch it, but yeah, it's interesting. And like if you don't have the DVD, it's hard to get. It's hard to watch, or it's hard to find, I guess. Let's see. It's about 50 movies I can message offline and set something up for them. Yeah, maybe. I was like, yeah, we'll work something out, I guess. But I have a collection too, and so like I wouldn't want, like, I mean, I like HD DVD, and I don't mind that format. I didn't get into it originally. It was something I found by dumb luck, and the one movie that started the whole collection never got a Blu-ray. It was The Dukes of Hazzard with Jessica Simpson and Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott. Like that movie never got a Blu-ray. It has an HD DVD, and then apparently like that HD DVD like really never works, like very rarely. And like that's what started my collection. I found it at the thrift store. I went out and got a player off of eBay, and it worked. I had a great time. I started the collection, and I have, I don't know, maybe like 30 or 40 HD DVDs. And I don't want to have like double, like I don't usually mind double dipping on certain movies, but if I have the Blu-ray, I have, you know what I mean? I don't want to have a whole bunch of HD DVDs now of doubles. But yeah, for sure. It's always nice to find another HD DVD collector. Yeah, I mean, I would gladly pick them up for sure. I actually enjoy all Highlander movies. Nice. I don't hate the second one, but it's weird. Like it's not cohesive. Like there's definitely problems with it, but I'll still watch the second one. I know after the first, they ain't great, but damn it, I enjoy them. Yeah, I really do love the first one. Like I freaking love it. I have one of the seasons of the TV show, so I'm trying to get back into that. I love Highlander. Yeah, my DVDs are mostly ones that are stuck on DVD and really expensive Blu-ray counterparts. Yes, and I have Airheads on DVD because the Blu-ray is ridiculous. And then there's like the bootleg Blu-ray, and like they're not telling you it's a bootleg. It's and they're selling that for like $60 plus like I think $20 shipping. So you're like spending $80 on a bootleg. Get the hell out of here. yeah, I was like, I'm happy with my $1.99 DVD. You never had to? No, no, no. I've had disc rot, but it's very rare. And um, it was one just just married with Ashton Kutcher. So it was a Blu-ray that I picked up, and I got it. It was brand new, sealed. It didn't work. And then so I was like, oh man, I just got dumb luck. Bad movie, bad, didn't work. So then I found another one. So I spent $20 on the first movie. I spent about 25-ish in that range, and then was shipping 30. So I'm in $50. Two movies, both of them don't work. And then I'm doing a little research. Nobody's mentioning that it's one of the ones that, just a defect. It's just not working. There's no signs of disc rot. The disc looks immaculate, both of them. They just don't work in any of my players. I couldn't even rip it to my hard drive and try to rip it to my Plex server. I couldn't do any of that. And then I made a video. And then in that video, a lot of people were trying their Just Married movie. And with that one with Ashton Kutcher and Brittany Murphy, they were trying it. And they were telling me in the video, in the comments, that theirs didn't work either. But then I found there was a 2-pack. It was Just Married and What Happens in Vegas, the one with Ashton Kutcher and Cameron Diaz, another movie I like, a guilty pleasure movie, I think. But it was a 2-pack in both of those, but they came on separate discs, and that works perfectly fine. And so I tracked down 2 of those, one for a backup, and yeah, they work perfectly fine. I was able to swap it out, throw the bad disc away, and then I have this single case from that original bad one and put it in there with the artwork and everything. But yes, that was a time I guess I had disc rot, or it was I guess defective discs, because like everyone said that theirs wasn't working. And then I haven't had disc rot from anything in the collection. I've had a movie that what was it? Thor just gifted me. It was the Hateful Eight. So I had the Hateful Eight, and that had some kind of bubble in it. And so the first time I watched it, it played perfectly fine. On the second time, like a year or so later, I went to go watch it, and it just, like, a big chunk of the movie just would not play. It skipped. And I looked at the other side, and there was like a bubble inside it. And so I wouldn't call that disc rot. It was just like I guess a bubble. And then, but I have gotten movies from the thrift store, and it's happened like once or twice, where I didn't look at the disc. I was busy, sidetracked by the kid, the family, trying to rush me out of the thrift store and just grabbing a movie that I knew I wanted to watch it. And for $1, you can't go wrong. Get home, look at the disc, and it's just covered in that like spider looking crap, like somebody dumped coffee and acid on it. So yeah, I have, but like I usually look at the discs and I make sure there's like no scratches, and I try to come home with a good one. Cats don't pay attention. No, not at all. Not at all. And then like she does this thing where you'll explain something and it's very easy to follow. And she'll be like, I'm confused. I don't understand. And I'm like, you frustrate me, kid. You frustrate me. But yeah, it's like a cat. The new Google Pixels, I heard, are like the iPhones of Android, they say. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, I'm sure you're getting a lot of traction. I'm sure it's a good phone. I'm really not a phone guy. I might end up just getting rid of this and just going back to one of those dumb phones. I miss the house phone. I really do. I miss the central location, because that's also the other thing. Like, the damn thing's mobile, and that's like the pet peeve of mine. And so like I've tried to have this where if we're watching a movie, we do an event, like all the phones go in a bowl in another room. And so then you're not tempted to answer a text message or look up something and then start scrolling. Because that's the thing, is like 90% of the time, if I go downstairs to watch a movie, the wife sits on the sofa and she's just sitting there scrolling away. And it's frustrating. It's like you're not enjoying the movie. And I love movies, and I know I love movies more than anybody in my real life. But when I sit down to watch a movie with you, like if you're just going to sit on the phone, it's not the same. And so we try to do that. But then like if she gets a phone call from her parents or whatever, she'll just stay where she is, and I'll be watching the movie completely enthralled, and she'll just be like, blah, 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 blah. And then she'll put them on speakerphone because she doesn't want to get head cancer. So she's got them on speakerphone. So now I'm listening to their whole conversation, and I'm just trying to watch a movie. Like, I miss the central location for the phone. I miss like the phone being in the kitchen. And if you get a phone call, that's where you got to be. I miss that. So yeah, I would get rid of my phone in a heartbeat. But that's the thing. She's constantly like, but if I need you, I need to text you. Like you need a phone. So I think I'm just going to get one of them dumb flip phones. Because like I said, I rarely use it. Let's see. No shame for DVDs, but sorry, I'm one of those that feels that the format is the thing. Sold my Laserdisc player and collection to Vinegar Syndrome. Now trying to replace my DVD whenever possible or curate them out. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with curating your collection, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I got rid of all of my DVDs that had a Blu-ray or a 4K in hopes to upgrade. But then I had got rid of so many in such a big chunk that I think I've only replaced 20 of them in that time period. And, it's hundreds of movies that are just now gone out of the collection. So I was like, I'm not going to do that again. But as some of the DVDs, maybe I'll upgrade. But like this movie is, if it ever got a Blu-ray, I don't need to upgrade this. And it's One Way Out with Jim Belushi. So you have, Jim Belushi, Jason Bateman's in this one, Angela Featherstone, and they're great. It's a great cast, but the movie's not that great. And I don't know if it's the direction or the time frame, like whatever. This is a complete Saturday afternoon movie. For most people, it's like a one and done or not at all. I don't need to upgrade this movie, but I enjoy having it in the library and being able to watch it whenever I want. It's kind of got this, like, I guess, cheesy late night, not like one of those like Sex Cinemax kind of movies, but like one of those like cheesy, crappy late night movies that you'd find on TV back in the day. And so I enjoy having it, but I don't need the Blu-ray on it. And Dell on Movies. What's up, brother? What's up, brother? The Bowling Whiz. Yeah, I picked up an Awesome in DVD, which is foreign vampire flick. So I get DVDs too, even with 2025 OLED television. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with still collecting DVDs, especially if that's the only format that the movie was on. Yeah, let's see. I went on a Clint Eastwood movie marathon yesterday, and the mule, he has a line. The only people who want to live to be 100 are 99. Looked him up after the movie. He was not realized that he was 95 years old. Yeah, he's old. He's up there. But yeah, the Mule is a good movie. I like that one. I picked it up on 4K. That's a solid movie. Sergeant Pokey Bait. What's up, brother? I'm looking for a copy of The Light Horseman. I can get a Blu-ray from the UK for $85. Oh my God, price, postage, and tariff. Or a DVD here in the US for $16 total. I'll take the DVD. Oh, for sure. Like, that is the crazy thing. Like, there's been times, and I think the UK might be trying to catch up with America and the greed of the eBay resellers, because I used to be able to not find a good deal on an out of print movie here in America. Like, it'd be like $60, $80, $100. And then I'd find basically the same movie, the UK version, which is still also out of print, but I was getting them for $10, $7, $16 all in with shipping. I mean, back then there wasn't tariffs, but shipping and tax and everything, $20. I think I was all in on $20 on Bachelor Party from the UK. Because our it's a Fox title, and our Blu-ray's long out of print, and at the time when I was looking for it, it was in the $80 price range. It was a no-brainer to import that Blu-ray. But then as of lately, a lot more have been extremely expensive. Like Splash, the Splash UK version, it's over $100. The bootleg is like $60 or $70 plus a hefty shipping fee. So now you're at close to that $100 for a bootleg, and it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. AV Pop Culture expressed in a post opinion on the release of the Reanimator, saying that bigger labels take credit for the smaller label that put in the restoration. Thoughts on this? I mean, every creator, every YouTube, they're going to have their own opinions on stuff. But I think, and I've always thought this, is every label, they're different countries. most of the time. So like Reanimator was put out. I don't know who did the restoration work, or like I that was one of the things we are going to talk about, but I got sidetracked. Second Sight is putting out a big chunky box set of Reanimator. I don't know what credit they're taking. What I saw was that it was being put out. Like I didn't say that, it doesn't say that Second Sight did the restoration, giving them props or credit, but like every country should have the ability to put out releases of movies. So just because companies here in America put stuff out doesn't mean the UK can't or Australia can't and put out the same movie. Yes, we live in an internet age and you can buy it and you can just go on the internet and you can order stuff and import it and it's very easy, but you shouldn't be forced to pay the higher tax, pay the higher price if you don't want to. If you just want the Reanimator movie, and that's a lot of people tell me all the time, is they don't care about these big chunky box sets, because that's another thing. I was going to talk about this because it's the same conversation, but this movie was put out by Vinegar Syndrome, Thriller. It's also being put out on 4K by somebody else. And so it's fine. I'm not mad. I have this version of the movie. It's fine that they're putting it out. I'm glad they're putting it out because that means more people that live in that country have access to this. If you want to spend the extra money and import it and pay extra in taxes and just have that big chunky special edition, cool. If you're double dipping on it and you spend a bunch of money on the other one, I mean, I hope it's one of your absolute all-time favorite movies and it's not just for internet cloud of like, look what I bought. So it's one of those things. But yeah, I'm totally fine with it. Like, I really am. Like, and that's why I have this sitting on the desk, because this is coming up today. Thriller is being put out on 4K by somebody else. Thriller, A Cruel Picture. This is a cult film. For a while, I thought it was hard to find, but people are telling me it was not hard to find. But I didn't find it until Vinegar Syndrome put this out. But I don't think this is the first time it had been put out, because like as I was saying that I was having a hard time finding it. This used to be a banned movie, and now it's not. And I think that's when it came up. I did a whole video on banned movies around the world and why they might have been banned. And this is one of those. And so They Call Her One Eye was the original title, starring Christina Lindbergh. And she did a lot of those exploitation films back in the day. And man, I think this is a fantastic release, but it's also a 4K. I'm not mad that another company is putting it out in another country. And then as far as I understand, this version is gone. So why not put it out again? Because what if you missed it? Every single day, new collectors come into this hobby and they're getting stuff. Like there's movies in my collection that I have the standard single version because at the time I didn't see the value in getting these bigger chunky box sets, and like being a collector and having this, and not many people do, and having that collector mentality, it changed over the years. Originally, it was just I was a movie buyer. And at some point, I changed to a movie collector, getting these bigger sets. And that's a different mentality, too. So everybody's at a different point in their collecting journey. And that's totally fine. But I honestly think it's perfectly fine. I don't think Second Sight is taking credit for somebody else's restoration. Usually you can find out who that is. But like, a lot of times studios actually do the restoration on stuff and then they license it out to all these other companies. So what is the complaint there? Unless it is just trying to, get the attention of whoever put out that original one. Because I know it was a smaller company that was doing that restoration, but they also, Second Sight might have done their own restoration. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I just know I wanted to talk about it today. My phone is 6 years old. I don't care to upgrade, only if the screen is unserviceable. Yeah, my wife's phone is broken, but then my phone, they were saying I could trade it in and get the new iPhone for free. It didn't matter like condition. I got a nice little crack on the side. And I was thinking about just trading it in, giving my wife the new phone, and then just getting a dumb phone. Like I said, I just now recently started texting a few of you guys. We've exchanged numbers and we've stayed in contact on a regular basis. And that's a very new thing, but I could still do that with a dumb phone. I don't need social media. I don't need apps. I can sit here on the computer for that stuff. I would love a portable 4K player. That would be dope. But I think we're stuck in Blu-ray player, portable Blu-ray. There was a nice Sony that I wanted to get. I think that a couple other companies did that, but I almost don't see a portable 4K player coming out. But if it does, and it was a good brand, like if it was a weird off brand, I probably wouldn't, just because I was like, I don't know. But I'd probably pick one up if Sony put one out. I'd pick one up in a heartbeat. I'm gonna sell my Umbrella 4K Possession. Oh yeah, that was a nice one too. Like that Possession, was one that I know everyone was super excited about. Umbrella came out, people got it, but then Umbrella's in Australia. So Second Sight, I'm pretty sure, is in the UK. Two different countries. And so why get mad at it? If you're gonna sell it and then you're gonna get the other version, that's your decision, and I support it, man. I totally support it. But the people that get super mad, and I've seen the comments. I get them sometimes. They're like, why are you excited that this is coming out? Because it was put out 10 years ago by, so-and-so. I was like, well, I didn't get that release 10 years ago. And, I like this version better. Yeah, it's one of those things. What was it? I have the imprint version of Stir of Echoes. I have the Blu-ray, and it comes with a slipcover. But I didn't get the 4K when they upgraded that. But then a 4K came out here. And I didn't get the 4K here. I had already imported the Australian version, and it wasn't necessary to me. I like the film, but I didn't need to have the 4K. I think the Blu-ray was fine, and I think the Blu-ray was mastered in at least 2K, but it's a beautiful picture. Maybe it was off that 4K master. I have to double check. But yeah, it was sometimes the double dip is worth it, and sometimes I don't think it is. But I mean, to each their own too. I was like, Possession, I like that set. I didn't get the Umbrella set. I might pick up this Second Sight now. Yeah, definitely. I saw that this morning. Wow, never heard of Disc Rot. Yeah, Disc Rot's a thing. They've been talking about that since the 90s, since CDs. I haven't really come across it. I've got CDs that are from the 80s that are still working. I have DVDs that are from the 90s that are still working. So I haven't, come across it as often as the fear comes out about it. And like I said, the few times, and I think it was just things being not stored properly. Things at thrift stores, stuff that had been in attics and garages where the temperature changes and the super hot garage. Yeah, and it gets crazy hot down here in Virginia. So yeah, I'm sure some of that stuff, the glue starts to separate and then the disc just doesn't work. But if things are in a temperature controlled environment, and sure, anything could break down and everything, could be damaged eventually. But in my experience, it's not as big of a worry as people have made it out to be. When you're buying used media, obviously it's a thing. If you're buying stuff off eBay, you never know what you're going to get. But in general, the stuff that I've had in my collection, it's been great. I'm kind of new to collecting, so learning. Yeah, the Disc Rot has been a conversation since the 90s. They were talking about it with CDs way before DVD was a thing. But again, I think as long as it's stored in a temperature controlled environment and you're good, I honestly think your stuff's gonna outlive a lot of other stuff. I have VHS tapes that are still working perfectly fine from the 80s. So yeah, that was always a fear too. The VHS tapes are gonna break down because they're analog, and every time you watch it, it wears it out. And yeah, it does. But the amount of times that I watch my VHS, I got a long life on all of it. Brian, make MKV to rip them, handbrake to reduce the file size, works very well. Yeah, and then you can put it on your computer, do a Plex server, or I run Kodi, because that's a local. I don't have to use the internet to work it, because my internet here sucks. So Plex is awesome, especially the fact that it's integrated into my PlayStation 5, my Apple TV, and my iPad. I'm able to access it, but the internet here sucks, and so even being super close, it just sucks. But having the computer tied into my TV, and I use the Kodi program, Kodi. It's free, and you put all your stuff. You just like Plex, you just add it in, and then everything just works, and it just reads it off the computer locally. And I've never had an issue with that. But yeah, I use it mostly for the TV shows. For me, I put some of the movies on there, but it's a daunting task to try to put everything on there. but I put all the TV shows on there, and I find myself enjoying that a lot more. And then being able to watch the shows, I also find I watch more of the TV shows than I ever did. Than I do enjoy getting up and physically putting a disc in the player, and it's almost like a routine thing, like a ritual, and it's something I enjoy. But having the Plex server for the TV shows, it's been great. What program do you use to rip your DVDs to Plex? Make MKV. Tron Ares was awesome. Yeah, nice. I'm glad you liked it. What was it? TJ texted me last night about, I guess, Critical Drinker, and he tears apart all the movies. Like, I don't think he's ever said anything good about a modern movie ever. And so he said that Critical Drinker tore it apart, and so he was excited about the movie, but now, maybe not. So I'm glad you liked it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to watch it. I'm not expecting like a ton from that, especially being a modern film. I think it's a huge cash grab. I don't think that they were like, oh, we should just make Tron. I think it was a huge cash grab because the ride did so well. And I think the Shanghai Disney or one of those other Disneylands has the Tron ride. And then they built it in Disney World because it did so well. And it became a huge attraction. And like years later now, it's still super popular and busy. And so they're like, hey, maybe we should cash in on this and make another movie. And the funny thing is, that's the way Disney used to work, is they used to make the movies to then make you think about the park. And then you go to the park and you see all the characters and then you think about the movies. And it was this constant cycle of you buying all their stuff. And they kind of got away from that. And then at least they're back into Tron. They spent all that money on those rides, and they're like, well, we might as well make another movie. Good for them. Good for them. I'm glad you liked it. How are DVD cleaners? Any recommendations? It's just a disc with bristles, little brush glued to it, and then sometimes you can put a little solution on it. And as the disc spins, it just kind of wipes the laser lens. If you're feeling frisky and your stuff is really dirty, you can take it apart while it's not plugged in, and then use a Q-tip or like even a microfiber cloth wrapped around the Q-tip and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and just clean that up. I've done that on old video game systems and got them working again just for that. I've never had to do it with DVD players or anything like that, but older video games, sometimes they get stuck in garages or people smoke heavy. And that's been a thing. But in my experience, the DVD cleaner hasn't really done anything. But it literally is a disc with a brush glued to it. And Lou, good morning, brother. I'm getting rid of DVDs that are available on a higher format, or I know I'll never watch. Yeah, that's a good thing. Like, there's no point in keeping stuff if you're not going to watch it. I used to do the purge of like getting rid of some of the stuff that I don't watch. Like, try to do it twice a year, mostly in the spring, like doing the whole spring cleaning thing. And I grab a whole pile of movies that I know I haven't seen in a while. I go downstairs to rewatch them. And then as I rewatch them, I'm like, should I keep it? Should I get rid of it? And I've always done that decision, but I kind of skipped out on it this year because of the move. So now I'm doing that now. And so like whittling the collection down as well. But it is like, I have like 6 copies of Godfather on VHS. I don't have the Godfather on any format, but I have like 6 copies of it on VHS. And it's just, I'm like, I got to get rid of these. So I was like, at that point, like, I'm like, it's 50 cents. I have to have it. So yeah, I'm doing the same thing, but yeah, it's a good idea to whittle your stuff down, purge it, get rid of it. And then, yeah, the DVDs, the only DVDs I'm trying to keep in the collection are ones that have never been put on another format. But I have no problem. Like, it's crazy too, because I have no problem picking up that VHS if I have the 4K, if I have the Blu-ray. And not on everything, but there's quite a few movies. Like, I have Adventures in Babysitting. I have like 2 or 3 VHS copies of that. And I have it on Blu-ray. I love that movie. It's just nostalgia for me. And I guess so is popping in a VHS tape. So I don't have the nostalgia for the DVDs, even though I see nothing wrong with them. And a lot of times I think they're better than the 4Ks and Blu-rays, not in quality wise, but in the fact of like the effort that they put into them, all the extra special features that are on DVDs that are never got put on the other formats when stuff got moved over. There's tons of that stuff. And then the motion menus, like I think they put a lot more effort into it. A lot of times the artwork I think was better on the DVD, and the fact that it covers the entire thing. Like you're looking at like this movie and like all the movie, you know, there's no big giant ugly banner that says digital code inside 4K tube, all this extra crap. Like you have the entire, you know, cover is art. And so that for me, I think in a lot of ways DVD was better. I like the size of the format. I don't hate this, but this is much smaller. And you also have this like big chunk here to tell you that it's a Blu-ray that's eating up and taking away from the artwork, where you didn't have that on DVD. So it's just a personal preference. I know it's just simple packaging, and again, people just care about the movies, but as a collector, I like all the extra stuff. Random question. What did you do in the Navy? I've been repairing Abrams tanks past decade or so. I just like to know jobs and what I missed in other branches, MOS. I was a radar technician, so I was a fire controlman, and there was two classes of fire controlmen. One actually handled all the guns and the ammo and the bullets, and they were basically gunners, and that's what those fire controlmen did. I was a technical fire controlman, so I fixed the radar, I watched the radar, I sat in a station in combat in radar, and if you've ever seen the movie Battleship, it's nothing what reality is, but in the room that they're in, it's called combat on the ship. And because I was on a destroyer, and so in the movie the first ship is a destroyer, and in combat they say secure spy. That's what I did. I was a spy technician, and it's a radar system. And you just turn it off. And in the movie, it's like crazy, and they secure spy. It's like vroom vroom, and all these like computers go down. It's movie magic special effects. In real life, I would press it, and nobody would know whether it was on or off. I would. But like they would ask, and they would have to ask. Like there was no indication of it, and like what you've seen in like the old '80s movies of, you know, people being in the Navy and like in those combat situations inside the ships and even on carriers. That's the type of environment that we had. But in the movie Battleship, it's like super real futuristic and sci-fi, and that's not what it looked like. We had green screen radars still. Yeah, that's what I did. Let's see. Let's see. I think the issue with people being upset about movies being re-released are that they import and forget that mainstream buyers don't always import. So to them, it feels the market is oversaturated. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, so, and you know, I'm not saying everybody does this, but if I buy something, I can make a video and talk about it. So then if I force myself to buy all of these releases and then you're not getting anything new and you already bought that thing because you wanted to make a video, you're probably not going to buy the next thing because that's money out of your pocket. And why would you double dip on, you know, it's like, it is one of the, so I can see where a creator could be getting frustrated by it, but like I get in the comments too, like I see it. And so like, I mean, to each their own, but I, like you said, I think that it's, you know, you shouldn't be forced to buy something from another country if you don't have to. And so like I like to import stuff. I have a huge imprint movie collection. Oh, it's over there behind me. I have a huge imprint movie collection. I love imprint, but they're expensive. They're very expensive. I don't have all of the releases. I could if I would, you know, or I would if I could, but like it's extremely expensive. And then shipping is also expensive. And the only way to get free shipping is you got to spend like $300 over there. So like you can't do that all the time. And yeah, so it is one of those things. And it is that justification of like, well, I have the Stir of Echoes Blu-ray that I imported from Australia. Do I really need to spend $30 on this 4K just so I can talk about it? No, I don't. But I could assume some people are in that boat, as well as like, you know, regular people, like you said, that are just importing stuff because it's a movie they wanted, they had to get it. The FOMO kicks in. It's a movie they wanted to have, and then nothing new is coming out, just this release from another company. But I was like, it's in the UK. The other one's from Australia. That release came from, I think, from America. You shouldn't be forced to spend the money. And now with the whole conversation, everyone's talking about tariffs and spending extra money. yeah, you should be able to buy stuff in your own country. If you want to import it, that's on you. But I like importing movies. I do it all the time. I got a standard basic version of Thriller or Cruel Picture, found at Goodwill for $1.99. I'm happy with my steal. Yeah, because I was like, I think I paid like $60 for this because I think I got this on eBay after the fact. Because I think this might have been sold out, but it was like freshly sold out. So I don't think it was like a crazy price. And it might have been close to what Vinegar Syndrome was selling it for. But I'm pretty sure it was like in the $50 to $60 price range when I got this. Am I going to double dip on it? No. But if it was one of my all-time favorite movies, yeah, I probably would. But it's not one of my favorite. It's a hard watch movie. I think it's good, but I'm glad to own it. But like, I don't need the other version. But if I didn't have this version, yeah, that would be a no-brainer in a heartbeat. That would be an easy pickup. I agree with your take on Reanimator, and I actually bought the first 4K release. Nice. I'm hoping that in the very near future, we will finally get 13th Warrior on 4K, chunky box, even better. Oh, you, me, and freaking half the world. That's one, no matter what I talk about, when I talk about movies that have never been put on Blu-ray, and it comes up. I have the movie on VHS, and I almost never like bring it up to show it because I just don't think about it. I'm usually like, these are stuck on DVD, because like when I do, these are stuck on VHS, like there's a small VHS collector market, but most people don't care about VHS anymore. And like, I get that conversation of like, DVDs are unwatchable. So I don't talk about my VHS as often. I kind of try to mix it in, but yeah, 13th Warrior, it comes up so often when I talk about movies that have never been put on Blu-ray, and everybody wants one. And like, I'm not happy with my VHS, but I'm glad I have it. Glad I have it for sure. So far, I haven't had to deal with disc rot, and I've been collecting for about 20 years. Yeah, I've a little longer. I've been collecting since I was 16, but yeah, freaking, I've never had disc rot. And like I said, there was like been like one or two that I just didn't look at the disc when I was leaving the thrift store, and it was just, you could see it was all, the disc was, it looked like it went through World War III. It was ridiculous. And I would have never, if I just took the time to look at the disc like I usually do, I would have never bought those. And so they didn't work, obviously. I tried cleaning them up, and like the glue was separating inside. But yeah, my own personal collection, I've never had an issue. But yeah, and then, like I said, the defect from Just Married, but that was an eBay purchase both times. And then like people say, I mean, obviously if you scratch something up like crazy, it's not going to work, but you can resurface this stuff. So as long as like the glue doesn't separate from the film, and how this is done, a lot of people don't know that the silver in here is all on this part here. So if you scratch this, you're scratching off that silver, and you're going to really ruin the disc. But if this part is all scratched up, then you can get it resurfaced and they'll play. This one here, it came from a used bookstore. I got it off eBay, and they didn't put like a little piece of paper. And I'm going to make a video on like shipping stuff, because I've had good stuff and I've had bad stuff. But this one here was dislodged, and there's micro scratches on it. The movie played. I had no issues with it skipping and stuttering because I put it in my Sony player. And the Sony player, when it comes across like even like the residue oil, like it's stuff, it skips, and then it like freezes, and like it doesn't just skip to the next scene, it freezes, so it's noticeable. So I let it play. I was busy all day, and I didn't really get to sit down to watch the movie, but it played just fine. I had no issues, even with those little micro scratches. And so like that's the thing. If I had saw that in the store, I would have left it on the shelf. But it's something I wanted. It came from eBay. It worked. But yeah, like usually if you just look at your stuff, you usually have no problem. Lollipop, yo, laying on the sofa, sleepily watching this Saturday. Enjoy, brother, enjoy. Ken Rivera, I had to order the Father Knows Best trilogy from Diabolic. Imprint import, which has copies of The Wedding Banquet, Eat, Drink, Man, Women, and Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, and Pushing Hands. The first two are out of print in the USA. Yeah, sometimes you have to import if you want it, but it's not saying that that title isn't going to come out again. And that's, the point of like having that conversation about waiting. Like collecting is a marathon, it's not a race. And if you're in that hurry to have to get everything with that FOMO, and I mean, everybody's got different budgets too. So like if you have to get everything, then get everything. If you can afford it, then do it. Go ahead. But for me, I can't afford everything, and I can afford a lot because anytime I talk about doing any of my hauls or the things I picked up, I get like rage quitters that like leave negative comments or they'll unsubscribe. I'm just like, I can feel your jealousy, but like I'm not sitting here to I'm just telling you, movie recommendations is really what it is. But everybody has a budget. I didn't used to have a bigger budget, but then my budget has recently changed. Like for 7 years, I didn't have a car payment. So now I have a big car payment and my movie budget that's eating into it quite a bit. So there's going to be a huge change in that. But over the 7 years, I've been able to like spend a lot more than I ever did. But before then, like I had a smaller budget and I was only buying like 1 or 2 movies a week. And I would go every Tuesday. And then there'd be times where I'd splurge a little bit more and I'd save up or, I'd just blow a bunch of money. Like there was times I would do that. But in that 7 years of having no car payment, and we had 2 cars, so it's 2 no car payments, and it's a big movie budget, and not anymore. It's all gone. So yeah, it is the thing, but I like importing, and I mean, there's times where I would rather import like 3 or 4 movies at that higher price and get something I want for the collection, like a nice big chunky box set, something like this, as opposed to buying like 30 of these for as cheaply as possible. Because, in the collection, like I have a big library. I have ample things to watch, and I would rather have the nicer things in my collection. And that's where I'm at. I started collecting in 2020, so all the titles that got re-released are new to me. And see, that's a nice thing, and I say that too, is like sometimes I am jealous of you guys that have recently got into collecting movies and just, or switched from being a movie buyer and just having your favorites and then getting outside that comfort zone and trying all of these other movies and collecting them for real. Because since I've been collecting since I was 16, I'm 43. That's a lot of time under my belt of buying movies. And over the years, having VHS, then getting DVD, then getting Blu-ray, then getting 4K. And it was the Blu-ray to 4K where I was like, wait a minute. Most of these movies that I love haven't been put out on 4K. And it took a lot longer for them to come out. And so I didn't get rid of all my Blu-rays. But in the past, I got rid of all my VHS as soon as DVD came out, and then I started buying all the DVDs. And then when Blu-ray came out, I got rid of all my DVDs, and I started buying all the Blu-rays. And I stopped that. And then since 2016, finding a lot of these cheap titles and VHS and stuff, at thrift stores, I started collecting everything again. And so I have a little bit of all. And I even have these like CEDs, and I point those out all the time, but American Werewolf in London, that's a CED. It's a dead format from the 80s. I collect it. I got Betamax. I have a Betamax player. It's just I need to get it repaired. But I have a few Betamax tapes, and I would collect all that stuff. And so for me, it's about the movie and not necessarily about the format. Good morning, Scuba Steve. Just got up, enjoying the talk. Morning all. Good morning, brother. Let's see. Haven't seen Tron Ares yet. Definitely a cash grab, but it doesn't mean it can't be good. No, it doesn't mean it can't be good. It doesn't mean, I'm just expecting huge CGI and not necessarily like a mediocre story, but I just don't feel that they were like, hey, we have this Tron thing and let's really just, pump out something awesome. Like, I don't think that there was like huge fan base behind making this movie. I think like sometimes you get that vibe or that feel or that buzz. I just feel this is to get people to go to the parks to ride the ride and vice versa. And you ride the ride, you want to see the movie. And I think it was that. So like, yeah, I'm not hating on the movie. I'm willing to go see it. I know Critical Drinker, kind of tore it apart, but he does that with everything. So Yeah, look, I'm gonna see it. I don't think I'm gonna see it in theaters. I might just buy it blindly. I like Tron. I have the first one on Blu-ray. I don't have the second one, so maybe they'll knock them all out on 4K and I'll pick them up. I kind of doubt it though. Disney's just slacking on that stuff, so maybe we'll definitely get the new one on 4K and probably never the first one. And if we do, it'll be steelbook only and super crazy expensive. Insignia brand. I mean, buy the best that you can afford, and that's always been my suggestion. I personally have never bought anything Insignia unless it was like a cleaner. I think I bought Insignia because it's a store brand stuff. It was like a screen cleaner. It had the spray and the microfiber cloth. I think I bought a couple Insignia wires, maybe a power plug. But other than that, like I've always looked at this, and when I sold this stuff, and when I bought it in my own real life, and for years and years, I bought used. It wasn't until I joined the Navy, and then I had a little bit extra cash. I bought my first brand new television. That was like the plasma. Before that, I had like the only brand new television I had was the CRT. It was a Sony, but it was the first high definition CRT tube television. And then I joined the Navy shortly after that, and that was it. But before then, it was always hand me down TVs, always used TVs, cheap stuff. All of my electronics, my stereo equipment, the Marantz player I have downstairs, or not player, the Marantz home theater receiver, that was brand new and quite pricey, even when I waited for the clearance price on it. But before that, my entire life, I've always bought used receivers, but I would always buy the best that I could afford in that used thing. So I would get something that maybe cost $2,000 10 years ago, and I'd pay like $100, $200, and so I would do that type of stuff. So that's my own personal. So I just, depending on what you're buying, Insignia, it is the lower end brand. And with that stuff, it's totally fine if that's what you got, if that's what you can afford. But quality in picture, if that's important to you and you're worried about getting 4Ks and that type of stuff, I would, your system is only going to be as good as its weakest link. So if the display is a budget friendly TV, in my opinion, there's almost 0 point in trying to get the best possible picture on a 4K movie. But I mean, like I said, if that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford. Because I've been there. But I would always try to get something better used than something that I could afford new, if that makes sense. Chan Cave, how's everyone? Good morning. Good morning, brother. Curating, been doing this this year. I've already got rid of 3,000 movies. Wow. Had no choice. I'm still curating, and I'm currently at 2,000-ish movies. Nice. I mean, you had a large collection, but like I said, if I had never got rid of my VHS collection, I never got rid of my as the new formats came out, and I just only bought stuff I didn't have, and I didn't even do the upgrade, like I'd have a massive collection. But it is that, I guess that mentality of like, I upgraded my TV, so I have to upgrade my movie collection to get the best possible picture to justify expending all this money on the TV. But if I had just kept this old CRT and, all these years, and DVDs look amazing on it. DVDs look amazing. If you don't upgrade, you don't have to upgrade. But yeah, I get it. But man, massive collection. But at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to watch all that stuff. And like, I look at my collection, like I watch at least 3 movies a day, and my lifestyle justifies that. But not everybody has that ability. And there are times where I'm busy doing stuff and a movie's playing, so I'm not really watching it, but it's on. And even then, I can't watch everything I own in 1 year. And but it's nice to have the library. It's nice to be able to come here and pick out a movie and watch something I haven't seen in forever. And that was the whole point for me. It was always that. That was always the goal, was I missed the video rental stores. So going back to that is what it was. Battleship is so bad it's good. Yeah, and I was like, I know exactly what you're saying. I just hate that phrase, but I get it. It's a bad movie, but it's fun. I enjoy the movie. It's dumb fun. It's not real. Like any of the stuff they show you in the military, not real. It's all movie special effects and movie magic to make it seem better than it is. But yeah, it's good. Do you know much about Godzilla VHS? I acquired a box of them, and I don't know much about them. Knowing your love for VHS, I thought you might. I mean, over the years, I've seen some of those old Godzilla movies on VHS. I mean, like I have like one or two. That's it. And I watched some of that stuff when I was a kid when it was on TV. But no, as far as like being super familiar with the Godzilla VHS, no. Do I think it's worth a ton of money? Probably not. But as a whole, big Godzilla collection, you might have some value. But I enjoy some of that Godzilla stuff. I mean, not all of it, but some of the older schlocky. Sometimes you're in the mood for like a Saturday afternoon movie, and an old Godzilla VHS tape is probably a perfect way to go. Let's see. And B-Rad. Morning, brother. Born to be rad. Good morning, Duder. Good morning, brother. And it was like Garrett. Every time he stops over, it's like not starstruck, but it's just like, man, I would love watching his live streams. Love watching anytime Garrett's live. I have to watch myself because he's always recommending something that I don't have and I think I need. And I had it here just the other day because I want to put it in a red case. I was going to do that today, but then I got sidetracked. Collision Course, and so he was talking about that a while back. I went out and found it at the thrift store, and then I just rewatched it. My daughter watched it for the first time. Super fun. I love that movie. That's one that I have it on DVD now. I hadn't thought about it in years, and he just had mentioned it, and that's one I would pick it up. That would be a day one Blu-ray purchase for sure. But yeah, that was super fun, and I was like, oh man, anytime I tune into his live streams, I'm always buying something. I've had disc rot on 2 Blu-rays, no DVDs that I've found so far. Yeah, I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense. I was like, there was a lot of conversation about DVD manufacturing, and now there's also been that. I mean, Blu-ray manufacturing of where a certain plant didn't put a lot of effort into it, or they used a different glue, and a lot of films are coming disc rot on Blu-ray, and like this, like 2012 to 2016 time frame, like in that window. I don't know exactly when it was, and I've had DVDs that are older than that and have no issues. But then you can go on Reddit and there's like long list of people like claiming that every single version of this movie is just not working on these DVDs. And I'm like, I've never had that issue. Never. My Flash DVD set from the original TV show only had one disc, doesn't work. Found a replacement. Only issue I have had in the years of ownership. That was the one thing. So there was Superman, the Superman DVDs, the TV show, the Lois and Clark one with Dean Cain. And so people were saying that a lot of those, the discs weren't working in that TV show. And then Warner put it out on Blu-ray to take care of everybody. And so that was cool. And I owned those. And mine worked fine, but I didn't keep them. Because I watched the entire show. I found them at the thrift store. When I was a kid, I only remember watching that first season. I don't think I watched anything else when I was a kid, because all that stuff was new. And then I thought it was all goofy. I liked the first season of Lois and Clark, Superman, but the other seasons, I thought they were goofy. I just didn't get into them, and so I sold the entire collection on eBay. And then it was like, within that year, people were complaining that it wasn't working, and mine had worked, no problem. So I was like, I kind of feel bad if somebody bought it and it wasn't working. But I ripped all those to the computer too, so like I had no issue there. And any of the times that I've had movies that, like I said, like that Just Married, that just doesn't work at all, I couldn't rip it to the hard drive. I got the Alexander revisited 4K recently. Nice. Just popped it in yesterday. Menu background came up, music playing. Oh no. But my menu options got from Amazon, too late to return, so not sure what to do. I would honestly, 2 things. Clean it. Sometimes there's this, and you could see it when you open up the cases. Sometimes there's this oily residue on the cases. And sometimes I've had it where the disc wasn't working, but I just a simple clean it. And what you do is you take a microfiber cloth and the disc. You take the disc. Oh, it's not even open yet. Take the disc and you do it. You know, like you just take it and wipe it this way, and don't do a circle motion because you could create grooves or scratches or something. That's what the I think Panasonic. I read that in like my manual for my my UB 9000, and so it's like to pull it this way when you do it, and just wipe off your disc. Because there's been times where it would be the residue all over the case. The disc would look fine, but that residue would get on the disc, and you just really wouldn't see it, and it wouldn't play. I cleaned it; it played fine. The other option would be to try it in a different player if you have that option. And I was like, maybe it doesn't work, but you know, I would try cleaning it first, because I've had that issue many times. But it would really suck if your disc went bad. Let's see. Recently found 2007 Death Sentence twice, both froze up. Red DVDs from Warner 2007. Oh, so my dates were off, but 2007, 2008 may have just right. Yeah, there's a long list of those Warner DVDs. Let's see. Love Godzilla. Godzilla VHS are really cool. Let me know which ones you got. Yeah, those are. I have a couple. Let's see. What we got? James says, I wanted to place a Kino Lorber order during current sale, but Canada Post is on strike. Second time in a year, and our mail is a corporation not run by the government. I'll have to wait. Oh, that's something too, man. I was like, the mail, everything, the government shut down. Like, everything's frustrating, but that sucks. That sucks, being on strike and not getting your stuff. Yeah, because I've got something that's being sent from Australia that I'm like worried that I'm not going to get it. Like, we're moving, it hasn't shipped yet. It's like, it's frustrating. I've been ripping DVDs to my Plex server, and I found that 10 movies with disk ROM. Well, that sucks too. And I was, like I said, I have no knowledge on, like I said, my personal experience is it's never really happened. The only stuff I've gotten was stuff that I've brought into the house from like eBay or the thrift store that just kind of didn't work, and it sucks. Some of them Warner HD DVDs, I found those too that didn't work. Let's see. This is an excellent live. Well, though, answers learning a lot. Well, you're welcome, brother. You're welcome. Let's see. At least Tron already did its Legacy sequel. Nice. Yeah. My favorite cartoon movie is Toy Story. I could see that. I think my favorite, like if we're talking like Disney movies, my favorite is WALL-E. I freaking love that movie, and I like Lilo and Stitch. So like those are like my two like go-to like cartoon Disney movies. But I could see Toy Story. It was pretty impressive when it came out. I don't think it holds up for me personally. I don't think like the animation holds up, but I mean, I don't have nostalgia for it either. I was a little bit older when it came out, but I remember watching. I remember we rented it, and then we watched it as a family, and I was pretty impressed. Like back then, I remember being a kid and just wanting to like get into computer graphics and computer design and video games and movies. Like I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And then life hit me, and I was like, I'm not doing any of that. But yeah, that's cool. I had an Amiga 500, which was great, but IBM won. I had Sony Betamax, but VHS won. I was in HDVD, but Blu-ray won. I can't win. Oh, that really is rough. So I was like, I'm too young for the VHS Betamax stuff. Because I wasn't even aware of Betamax till later. And then in where I grew up in my area, like I heard about Laserdisc, but I never, we never saw it. Like you never saw it Laserdisc in stores, never saw it at the rental stores. Even there's like a local mom and pop that rented videos, but they also sold vinyl records and CDs and that type of stuff. They didn't even have Laserdisc. And so in my area, it wasn't a thing, but I'd heard about it. It always was this like elusive, like cool, unattainable, piece of media. And so there was that, but I obviously I was alive for the Blu-ray HD DVD format. And yeah, it's I picked Blu-ray only because I wanted the PlayStation 3, and at the time, like the players were like $1,000. The PlayStation 3 was like $600. It was the cheaper route. I got to play the video games. I got the Blu-ray player, and that's the only reason, because I like the HD DVD red cases, and that's just a dumb aesthetic thing. I probably would have went with HD DVD and myself if it wasn't for the fact that the PlayStation 3 had the player built in. But yeah, just now I'm trying to get into these older formats. I think it's fun to collect for them, and they still work. It's just I need to get my player fixed for Betamax. Let's see, what kind of coffee do you do? The Sumatra coffee, be having me on 10. I just buy regular New England. It's the New England brand coffee, and this one here is blueberry. And I just do regular, like plain cream, a spoon of sugar, and that's it. I don't do anything like super crazy fancy. I don't really get into the coffee creamers. I used to like the flavored coffee creamers because it was like addicting. It's super sweet and whatever. But yeah, this is the cheap New England coffee. It's good for me. Do you have a Patreon as well? Really enjoying the podcast. I don't have a Patreon, but what I do have is the Fourth Wall store, and you can become a member over there, and it works just like the Patreon. And then I post videos only over there and and then there's also a store where I sell all the merch. As being a member over there, you get discounts on the merch. We have all our Halloween stuff, and I haven't bought any of the Halloween stuff myself because the government shut down and like fear of maybe not getting paid on the 15th. And so it's just, I haven't bought any of the Halloween stuff yet, but I will. And I was going to, whether we sold out or not, because last year we sold out of the Halloween stuff. This year, because of the government shutdown and I didn't buy my own, I'm not going to, if we don't sell out of the Halloween merch, I'm going to keep it up year round, or till the end of the year at least, just in case. But yes, any video I post or anything, you can join the Fourth Wall membership there, and there's a couple tiers, and I think there's a discount if you pay for the whole year, and it works like Patreon. There's like special only videos that go over there, and I've been a little busy because of the move, but I do know that I have some stuff this weekend that I'll be posting over there as well. So yeah, it's like Patreon, but it's called Fourth Wall, and I sell merch through the same place. Let's see. Thanks, bud. I'm a rad or a bad influence. Not a bad influence. Not a bad influence, brother. Like, always a good time watching your streams, but no, super, super fun. But like, it's just sometimes those streams are a little bit late for me. But we're moving to Colorado, so it's a 2-hour difference from where I am now. So I've been going live at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays, and so I'll still do 10 o'clock, but it'll be 2 hours to the left. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll have to figure it out. Because no, that'd be early. I have to change it because I don't want to go super late or super early. I want to kind of stay in that same thing. So yeah, maybe I might have to just go at a different time. Try to keep it in the same thing. But yeah, those later live streams, I used to do those. I love them. But lately I've just been struggling to stay awake. Yo, man, thanks for the love. Oh yeah, no, always appreciate it, man. I like, seriously, anybody. I'm just a guy on the internet with opinions, and I've just been buying movies since I was 16 years old. But I was like, Garrett, man, he's got not only just an impressive collection, but a lot more knowledge than I have on, especially DVDs. Like, man, he busts out some stuff that I haven't seen in decades. If you have a Warner Brothers DVD from 2006 to 2009 with disc rot, a lot haven't been upgraded to Blu-ray, but Warner Archives print are newer and had no problems. Yeah, and I think that they were replacing some of that stuff. Like, there was a window. I don't know if there still are, but I think that some of that stuff, if there was another option available, they were just replacing them. So that was kind of a cool thing. Because like most of the companies are like, oh, sorry. That was from 2009. Screw yourself. Like, a lot of companies have had that attitude. I like Warner Brothers. I like what they've been doing. My only thing is there's some Warner Archive DVDs and they're MODs. They're just burned discs. I've complained about them a lot, but I wish they would come to Blu-ray. Like Carney's one. There's a couple others I have, but I just want a Blu-ray of them, and I'm kind of afraid if Warner Brothers gets sold off, that we're just going to get screwed. I think whoever's running Warner Brothers, whoever's over there now, I think that the people love the movies and they love the stuff because it just seems like there's a little bit more effort when it comes to some of those Warner titles. Now, that whole like bad stigma of disc rot, it goes with HD DVD. There's a whole bunch of DVDs. There's a whole bunch of Blu-rays on Reddit. People are complaining that like pretty much none of these movies work. And so they have that, just going the cheapest route. But the fact that they do love their movies, and the fact that they even put out that list of these are the movies that weren't working in this time period. And I could swear that there was like a little bit of a replacement option for some of this stuff. In your opinion, how did Samsung TVs, DVD players, etc. hold up? I think they hold up fine. There was only one I bought. Well, I say that, and then I was like, the only Samsung TV I ever had lit on fire. But it was the curved LCD. My wife was like super into it, and like we still do have it, and it's the 50-inch plasma Panasonic 1080p television. I freaking love it. I think it's a beautiful picture. But then it was 4K. I don't think there was any 4K movies coming out yet, but it was 4K. That was all the buzz. It didn't have HDR. It didn't have Dolby Vision. It was like one of the early like things, and it was curved. And she wanted it, and I think she wanted it because curve, because it was different. It was a big thing. She's really into sports and she likes football, so she wanted to watch football on it. And so then I was just like, all right, I'm not going to argue, because it's, sure, to get her to open up and want to spend money is usually like pulling teeth. And so the fact that she wanted to buy this big expensive TV, I'm like, sure, no problem. And I didn't have much opinions because it was whatever. And I also thought the curve was cool, but it was dumb. It didn't do anything. It didn't give you a better viewing angle. And that was the argument. Like, you could sit off at an angle and you could see the TV better. I don't think you could. And I liked my plasma. To this day, I think my plasma screen had a better picture, deeper blacks. Like, it was just an overall better image, even though that was a 4K television. And then I had a 4K player hooked up to it, watching 4K movies, and I just hated it. And then the thing lit on fire, and I thought it was great. When I sold that stuff, I mean, they were good. There was one. There was this really cool DLP projection. It was like this pedestal. So the TV was here. Probably had like that much from the front to the back. So it was like not a super big back projection TV, but it was like this narrower projection. And it sat on this like pedestal. So there's this big like pedestal. It was gray and it lit up blue in the middle. And then it had like a glass base. It was kind of cool. That was a Samsung. We sold a lot of those. And like in that time frame, like people weren't bringing them back in a few years to the warranty stuff. We sold warranty on a lot of that, and it wasn't coming back for warranty repairs. So I think they were pretty good. But like anything modern, it's, done on an assembly line, it's hit or miss. Any product is probably decent, but you can. I have some Sony DVD players that are downstairs that have to get repaired, but they're also like 20 years old. So I don't know. I think the Samsung stuff is fine. It's not for me. The TV blew up. It lit on fire. I'm happy with my Sony. And I mean, that could light on fire too. Like, it's just one of those things. But yeah, the Samsung TV, we had it for like 3 or 4 years, and we've had the plasma for we bought it in 2012. 2012, we had that Panasonic plasma, and we use it almost not every day, but regularly. And then, when the TV lit on fire, I moved it back downstairs, and we did use it every day for many hours every day. But yeah, for the longest time, it was the daily driver. It was the only TV in the house for the longest time. Now it's in our bedroom, and every couple of nights we watch a movie or something in it. But yeah, I think it's it's outlived everything else. Oh, let's see, I missed that. Just give it a good clean and do the trick. Wow, I guess I'll watch it today. Nice. Well, I'm glad it worked for you. I'm glad it wasn't a bad disc. But yeah, there's this, and I've talked about it before, but sometimes when you open up the I have it. You can see it better on the 4Ks too, like with the black. But the when you open up these DVDs, or when you open up the Blu-rays and the 4Ks, a lot of times they use, not this one in particular, but a lot of times they use the cheaper plastic and then oil. It's like I don't know. It's called off-gassing, and so you see these like oily mess, and you could touch it, and it's just gross. That gets on the disc, and I think that's why they justify. I mean, it's also cheaper for them to make, but they justify the holes inside the disc, so it kind of helps prevent that. I guess supposedly that's what I was told, but I was like, I hate those Echo cases. But anyway, that gets on there, and I'm glad it worked for you. Glad it worked for you. But yeah, it was a thing because like living here, it's hot in the summertime. And so when I was ordering more stuff online, it was sitting on that truck longer. I'd open up the disc, and that was my first starting of experience in seeing these discs with like all this oily residue. And then coming to find out, it's just the manufacturing. A lot of them are cheaper, and it was a normal thing. And I was like, in my entire life, I didn't have to ever clean a disc before I watched it until very recently. And so, yeah, I'm glad it worked better. I feel like I never remember seeing laser at the store around here either. Yeah, it was a thing. It was something that was just, it was always talked about. It was in magazines. I saw it in movies. Yeah, but in real life, like it was just never anything. And then like TJ was in Japan. He sent me a ton of laser discs from Japan. I bought a player on eBay. And I took a big gamble on it because it was a big purchase. And I was like, frig, I really hope I like this. And then I started buying some laser discs, and everyone warned me about the laser rot, because I guess on laser disc they call it laser rot, but it's the same as disc rot. The glue starts to separate from the thing. These are bigger, they're heavier. And so like this entire thing is much heavier than anything else, and so depending on how you store them and stack them, and when I open these, it also says to remove all of this plastic, and almost nobody did. And what leaving the plastic on is it leaves this in pristine condition, and all of my laser discs have worked so far, but it's something about moisture, and that's what the claim about Laserdisc was. And even on some of them, it specifically says to remove all of the plastic. And then there's a couple of them where like people have bought like these plastic, like this one, they bought this plastic cover to put it in, and then all you're doing, depending on how hot your house is, if this is completely sealed, and this one's open on the end, but if it's completely sealed with a flap and then it's hot, you get moisture in the air, and it gets in the disc, they're claiming that's what was rotting them. And every single person, when I was talking about getting into Laserdisc, that's what they would go, oh, you laser rot, you're gonna waste your money on, all these discs aren't working. And I haven't had a single one. All the laser discs work. All the stuff that came from Japan is amazing, immaculate, like really good condition. Like it's just, it always impresses me. The stuff that comes from Japan is nice. Like I ordered video game stuff. I got controllers. I got this thing. Okay, so I got Zelda from the GameCube, but I got the Japanese GameCube here. This thing was in pristine condition. It came with a box, came with all the stuff. You can't find anything like that at the thrift store here. It's always like dirty and mangled, and the controllers are broken. It's very frustrating. Very rarely can you find anything that's worth it here. And so like the same thing, all the laser discs, beautiful. And the few that I've got from here and eBay, some of them are, good looking, but a lot of them, just the outside cardboard that holds the disc is kind of banged up and not as well cared for as some of the stuff I got from Japan. So yeah, it's a laser. It's just crazy, man. I feel like, and I didn't feel like I lived in like a small town. Like I felt like it could support like somebody that could afford a laser disc. Let's see. Do you remember when Xbox 360 had the HD DVD add-on to piece to compete the PlayStation and Blu-ray? Yeah, and it wasn't right away. Like it was like a year or so after. So I remember that was the thing, because like if it had the option, I would have thought about it. Because I think the Xbox 360 was cheaper than the PlayStation 3 at the time. I just remember that damn thing was like $600, and so yeah, I think I would have maybe went for that cheaper option, because 1 month you get the Xbox, and then next month you get the add-on player, and then you separate your costs a little bit. But yeah, I remember that. I also kind of laughed at it because it was this add-on piece and it's just another thing to sit on there, and it didn't really look cohesive. It didn't kind of fit with it. So I felt it was kind of goofy. Like if somehow it like clipped into it, or if it was like the whole, instead of this little box, if it was like the whole length of it and it just kind of looked like the Xbox, I think it would have been for me a better selling point, I guess. But yeah, I remember that. I picked up one years ago when I first started getting into the HD DVDs, because I had an old 360 floating around here, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all. So then I returned it back to the thrift store because maybe somebody will fix it. But yeah, it wasn't worth it for me. Try and mess with it, but yeah, it didn't work. But yeah, it was goofy. And then you had to have the remote, like, and a lot of times, like when they're being sold online, there's no remote. I remember almost pulling the trigger and buying it, but then Blu-ray won the war. Oh, that's cool that you didn't you waited on it, but yeah, that was the thing. Like I remember when they won. I got out of the Navy, and I think that was around the time. So like 2014, 2015, around that time, like the war was over, and then HD DVDs were no longer around, and Blu-ray was king. And I finally, I felt, I was like a whoof moment. Like, I'm like, well, I'm glad I picked the right one, and I'm glad it's over finally. Because like that thought process of, and at that time I didn't have anywhere close to the collection I have now, but that thought process of trying to rebuy all the stuff and, buy, start a whole new collection and buy a new play. Like, it's just, oh, if they're not going to make any of these movies anymore. But now I have a different mentality. But at the time I remember having I was glad. Let's see. I have one of those players. Oh crap! Thanks for a reminder. Okay, HD DVD not for sale anymore. Yeah, enjoy. If it still works, man, like enjoy it. I have some great films on HD DVD. I have obviously I talk about it all the time, but I have the Dukes of Hazzard one. That's fun. But then I have that one with Shia LaBeouf. It's Disturbia. I love that film, and I only have it on HD DVD. It did get a Blu-ray, so that's available. But it's one of my favorites. And it's like, I love Rear Window. So Alfred Hitchcock films, out of all of his films, I love them all. I think they're great. But my favorite is Rear Window. I think that's the best. And as far as like Rear Window ripoffs or similar stories, if you want to say, I think Disturbia is absolutely fantastic. But I also like Shia LaBeouf. But I do. I think it was perfect. Not really a time capsule of the time, but kind of, because like at the time he's using an older phone. They have like the old flip phones with the old crappy cameras and stuff. So I guess it is a time capsule. And then at the time, I think he's playing Xbox or something, or PlayStation, but it's the older stuff like PlayStation 2 or 3. And yeah, I remember that. Oh, and the iPod. I have an iPod and I use it all the time, but like you never see that. And like he was downloading all these all this music to his iPod. It was like a whole thing. I was like, man, everybody just puts it on their phone. I don't have any music on my phone at all. I actually still have an iPod. Let's see. GS totally acknowledge. I crave to obtain. Yes, he does. Warner Brothers never replaced my disc. I had to find it on my own. Well, that sucks. I'm just saying, like, I think there was like a window. Like, I'm just saying, I vaguely remember it. So maybe they didn't. Maybe I just dreamt it up. Let's see. I have a brand new in the box HD DVD 360 drive. Wow. I hope it works, man. Enjoy that. Wow. Zap reprint sold out on Amazon. Yeah, I figured it would. But again, see how many that are going to be on eBay. There probably are some now. Like that's a frustrating thing, especially with this smaller boutiques putting this stuff out. And Zapped is something that it's a movie that people love. And like anytime I've talked about it, I have the Olive Films version. That Olive Films version on eBay it's like $100. So yeah, that's something that people like. Yeah. Damn, sold out already. I've been trying to find Hubby Halloween on DVD, but very hard. Did it get a release? Did it actually get a release? Hold on, let's see. Hubby. No, let's see. I don't think it got an official release, or maybe I'm just spelling it wrong. Let's see. Yeah, I think I spelled. Yeah, that's how I spelled it. Let's see. It didn't get an official release. It's a Netflix movie. So maybe, let's see. All countries. No, it's not coming up. Yeah, it's just saying Netflix. Netflix is all that's on Blu-ray.com. So if you do find anything, it's probably a bootleg. So just be wary of that. Almost all those streaming service movies, they did not really get a physical release. A very small handful. So if you do find it, more than likely it's a bootleg. I've changed my opinion on that. Like, I'm not going to actively like seek out stuff, but if they're not going to put it out and I find it on eBay or what, I'm going to buy it. If I want it, I'm going to buy it. Like, it's one of those things. But I used to be completely against it, but over the years I've accidentally picked up a couple. I picked up a couple on purpose, and so like I've changed my mind. Let's see. I never had a plasma, but I feel like everybody who did own one always tells me it was the best TV they ever had. Oh, it still is, man. I love my OLED. I think it's a fantastic picture until I move the Apple TV downstairs. So the Apple TV is hooked up to my plasma, and just that menu screen, like the colors pop, everything. When I put the Apple TV downstairs, like it's almost like it's washed out. And it's the only difference. But if I put in a 4K movie, a Blu-ray, like I put in any movie, I think it's an amazing picture on my OLED. But that's the only time I'm like, damn, that it's just that menu screen on the Apple TV. Like it's just kind of washed out on the OLED. But that's it. And I have the colors similar. Like I like my color palette to be similar. So I have things set some. But yeah, that plasma is amazing. I wish they still freaking made them. A 4K plasma TV would be a no-brainer. I think it's an amazing television. I don't know why they stopped, if it was just too expensive or whatever. But like I said, I bought mine in 2012. It's still working. I'm going to keep it till the thing dies. I freaking love it. But granted, it's upstairs in the bedroom, and like I have a VCR and I have a DVD player and a Blu-ray player hooked up to it. See, I sold electronics in high school and college from 06 to 2012. We cleared out new stock and stuff, and we got a week before of the HD DVD stuff for $1.99 each when Blu-ray won the war. Spent my entire paycheck on them. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. That price, I would have stocked up for sure. And that was the thing, is when somehow I missed, and it probably was because I was like hyper focused on Blu-ray. I missed when VHS went away, and like the people were talking about getting the bins, like, you know, the $5 bins at Walmart. They had bins, like people were picking up VHS tapes brand new from Walmart for like $1 or so, and like super duper cheap. And I'm like, man, I don't know how I missed that, because I love movies, man. I got to take the wife out this afternoon. Enjoy the chat. Be well, everyone. Well, thanks for being here, brother. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Jay the Collector. What's up, brother? I had to get Happy Halloween from one of the people on eBay. LOL, fake. Yeah. I'm telling you, like, that's the thing. There's so many movies, and like this, the one I was talking about earlier, when I didn't have my my microphone on, it was Play Dirty with Mark Wahlberg. I like that movie. It's a heist movie. It's fantastic. It's streaming right now, and it's probably going to never be put on physical media. If I come across that on eBay, I'm buying it. Like I like the movie, and it's a heist one, and it was fun. It was it was predictable. It was, so I didn't, nothing really threw me for a loop, but I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. And it was the cast too. It was a bigger cast. So like, you know, Mark Wahlberg, I think, can hold his own, especially when it comes to like, you know, comedic timing and the banter and having that stuff. Like he was fantastic in Two Guns with Denzel Washington, but with this movie, he didn't do that as much. He played it more of like, he's a criminal. He's a criminal in the entire movie, and so he played it like that. But then it was the cast around him that had more of the comedy and stuff. I like the movie a lot. Yeah, it's 100%. It's on eBay. I'll get it. Yeah, still worth it. And see, I've seen Hubby Halloween. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's, my kid liked it, but I was like, I don't need that one. But it was good enough. It was good enough for sure. So we got that, and then let's see. While we're here, this is what we were here for. So some of the new stuff that I'm excited for, and I'm excited. I have Reanimator, and I'm fine. So and we talked about this a little bit here. Let's see, what is this? Let's see, Reanimator. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful set. Let's see, wrong one. Oh, my stuff's slowing down. I don't know, did I freeze? All right. So I don't know. I think I froze a little bit trying to share the screen. But yeah, this Reanimator set here, I think one coming from Second Sight, I think it's absolutely fantastic. If you live in the UK, you're going to be able to pick this up. I know that there's Second Sight collectors, and so there's that. If you picked up that last Reanimator 4K, maybe you don't need this one. I'm not saying that. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I have the Blu-ray. I didn't get that other set. I didn't rush out, and because it was also expensive, I think. But this Reanimator set, I like Second Sight. I could easily see myself picking this up, no problem. And I like it. I'm glad they're putting it out in the UK. But they have that, and then let's see. So that one's coming out. Does it say what date? On December 8th from Second Sight. So yeah, I think the pre-orders are probably up. I would check that out or keep an eye on it at least. But then Possession, this is another one. This is one that comes highly recommended. I've never seen it. I missed out on the Umbrella set, and I would be glad to pick this one up here. And this one also coming out from in December. So it's another one, but it's another one too. Like, I'm not going to pick it up in December because we're going to be recovering from the cost of the move and all that stuff. And so I'm not going to pick it up right away. But if it sells out, I'm not going to I don't need it. I missed the Umbrella set, so I was like, but it comes highly recommended. So it's something I want to get. I like the big chunky box set, and I have no problem picking it up. So if it's still available, like after Christmas, after the holidays, yeah, sure. Easy pickup for me on both of those. And then, let's see, what's this? Dead of Night is coming out in December. And then there's Scars of Dracula. Now I have this, and I don't know if it's I think it's a Warner title. I have all the Hammer, Christopher Lee, Dracula films. And I love it. I think it's great. Scars of Dracula, fantastic film. But I don't think I need the 4K. I'm happy with my Blu-ray. I think it looks fine. I don't know what kind of master it was, but at minimum, it's like a 2K master because it does look incredible. And I don't think unless you're getting like some new surround sound or something, but even then, I don't think if it adds to the ambiance and the creep factor, sure, but I don't think you're getting anything new other than a 4K transfer, and it's coming from Kino Lorber. I'm glad it's coming out if you missed on the first one, but I think my Blu-ray is perfectly fine on that. Let's see, we got Shot in the Dark. Let's see, and you got the Revenge of the Pink Panther. And newest Pink Panther, Panther of All, Pink Panther Strikes Again. Yeah, you got all these Pink Panther movies. They're all coming out in December. So I know that that Pink Panther set that was put out, I think Shout Factory, maybe it was one of the Shout Select things. That Pink Panther set goes for crazy money. So being put out on 4K, you're going to be able to get all these, which is great. I don't think I need them though, because the few Pink Panther movies I have are on VHS, and I watch them like every 5 to 6 years. But here we go. Dante's Peak is getting this re-release. So there was this debacle with it. It was supposed to get released a while ago. It did get released. Some people got it, and then they pulled it. There was an issue with some kind of rights issue with one of the songs on there or something. And or maybe I'm wrong on that, but there was a rights issue. It got pulled, and so then the few people that did get theirs, some people were flipping them on eBay. They were like crazy expensive, and I told everybody to wait on this. It is coming out now, and so this one's coming out December 16th from Kino Lorber, and yeah, I was like back then because disaster films are like a one and done for me, and so like with this, I'm like I don't know if I need it. I've seen it. It's fine. I didn't hate the film, but I don't really get into rewatching the disaster films. But because of that issue before, I don't know if it's like FOMO or just actually me wanting to revisit this because so many people have talked about it, so many people have wanted it. It's come up in conversation and comments, and so it's just kind of at the forefront of my thought process. And so I don't know, maybe I'll just try to see if I can watch it on Tubi or something. But Dante's Peak coming out, so I know a lot of people are going to be excited about that. Babe Pig in the City, I don't need that. I had it on VHS. None of the kids liked it. I was a little too old when it came out originally, 1998. Yeah, I was an older teenager. It wasn't for me, but I do remember it. And then, like I said, none of my kids got into those Babe movies. Oh, the other one is coming out too. But this one here, Walking Tall, with Dwayne Johnson and Johnny Knoxville. That's a movie I haven't seen since probably 2004 when it came out. So that's one I'm probably going to pick up. There's that one, and there's that other one. I don't know if that one got released. That one with Sean William Scott and Running Scared. Is that the movie? Anyway, the Sean William Scott and Dwayne Johnson. That's a movie I had on DVD, and I don't know if it is coming out still or if it already did. But I got to pick that up either way. But yeah, this one, Walking Tall, I'd like to revisit that one. And Nacho Libre, this is one that I skipped back in the day. I still don't think I need to see it, but it's coming out on 4K in December. I know it's got its fan base. I just don't think it's a me movie for sure. And Shout Factory is putting out Perfect Blue. Coming out in December 23rd. The pre-orders are already up. Nice big chunky box set on that. See. Ooh, and Leprechaun. Coming to 4K UHD from Lionsgate. Leprechaun 1993 4K UHD restored from a 35mm camera negative, supervised by writer-director Mark Jones. Restoration begins this Tuesday. Nice. An evil, sadistic leprechaun goes on a killing spree. I love Leprechaun, and out of all the horror movies, I think Leprechaun, I don't think it's like top tier, but you can argue that none of the horror movies are really top tier. But in that Leprechaun, like I don't think it gets as much love as many of the other films, and I put it in that category of like things that I love, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Leprechaun. Like they're in that same kind of atmosphere, and I love it. As the series goes on, any of the new ones, all the remakes, all the newer ones, I don't like them. But these ones with Warwick Davis, big fan, love them. Even the schlocky ones, I love when Leprechaun goes to space. Like it's ridiculous, it's over the top, it's dumb. But the first Leprechaun here with Jennifer Aniston, I think it's super fun. And so this is one I'll probably pick up. I have that pack of Blu-rays, and so it's all the Leprechaun movies in that pack. And so, yeah, I'd have no problem picking this up for sure. And I don't know, the Lionsgate, it doesn't say Lionsgate Limited. So maybe it's not going to be, but I kind of expect it's going to be a Steelbook only. I don't know then. I'd have to see how the Steelbook looks. Because if it's just this original, and we've seen that a million times, like that was the original movie poster, I'm pretty sure. I've seen it so many times. If that's all you're getting and it's a Steelbook only, I'd probably pass. But if we're getting something different, maybe I'll check it out. Let's see, is that it for those? 2.5 Men is coming out. More TV shows on Blu-ray. That's awesome. Comes out November 11th. That's a show I saw a couple episodes here and there. I never really got into it. It just wasn't me. I don't know if it was just the time frame when it was on. I just only ever remember seeing some of the reruns when the show was out. And I didn't hate it, but I don't think I need it. But I'm glad more TV shows are coming out. And we've talked about this. I hate that Steelbook for Edward Scissorhands. There's that. And then we have, let's go to Blu-ray.com, talk about that stuff. Let's see. there's a few things here I was excited for, and then we'll probably wrap it up. I've been going for 2.5 hours. Had a good time today. Good time. I like the questions. I like to ask me anything. That was fun. That was fun. All right, let's see. Oh, share the screen. Okay. So Warner Archive announcements. You get a bunch of older films. Let's see. And they're great with these older films. Let's see. Nothing here really stands out to me except for the Marx Brothers at the Circus. That's something I'd probably be really into. I mean, I like these older films, so I could probably watch any of these and be happy. None of them are really jumping out at me except for this one with James Cagney. I'll watch anything James Cagney's in. And the Marx Brothers one there, for sure. I do. I have a small Warner Archive collection, and I like it. There's some nice hidden gems there. Let's see. Spinal Tap 2 is coming out in 4K. We talked about Boogie Nights. I feel like we've talked about the Jean-Claude Van Damme MVD movies before, too. Oh, yeah, here. I talked about it because I mentioned it because of the... I brought out my my thing, but Thriller Cruel Pictures coming out. It's coming out in the UK. So that was again. It was my point of bringing this out. Is this was put out by Vinegar Syndrome. So it's an American company, and so if you don't live in America and you want to get this, you're gonna have to import it. This version's gone. I'm pretty sure this version's completely gone. But if you want the movie, you're gonna have to import it, spend all that extra money. The fact that this is coming out in the UK on 4K, I'm good. I'm glad. And let's see, they call her One Eye 4K Ultra UHD plus Blu-ray coming from Screenbound Pictures on December 1st. So doesn't seem like you're getting a ton of options, but the same original artwork that's on this version here. You are getting that ugly banner, which I hate, but hey, lucky they're getting it. So if you didn't import this and you live in the UK, glad you'll be able to get this. It comes with a slipcover, standard 4K, 2 discs, a bunch of like the original posters there, some looks like sticker sheets. Stickers aren't my thing, but I don't know where you'd stick those stickers too. It's just kind of weird. Let's see, what do we got? The Ice Storm. This is not the first time it's been put out. Kino Lorber put this out. I have it. Not Kino Lorber, Criterion. Criterion put this out. I have it. But this is another. It's coming out from the UK, and it's Studio Canal did this. I don't know who did the restoration, but you're getting a 4K. The version I have, I don't remember if it's Blu-ray or 4K, but Criterion. I think it's a fantastic film. It's a Thanksgiving film, but it's also like not happy. It's a kind of a family dynamics and all kinds of issues and drugs and infidelity and just, man, it's not a hard watch film, but it's like a heavy film for sure. And so yeah, that one's coming out in December. Let's see. Talked about Dante's Peak, Night of the Sharks. Interesting enough. Severin Films, as always, is putting out something interesting. This was from 1988, and it comes out in December. I love that movie poster. There's a plane. There's so much going on. The shark, it almost seems like the shark is like jumping out of the water, eating everybody. The plane's going down. It's wild. I don't know if I need it, but for $35, but it's something I'd probably watch at some point. It's on my radar now for sure. And then there was something over here. Oh, Red Sonja. I don't know what you guys thought of this. We tried watching it, and we ended up watching the original. Like we got a few minutes into it. I wasn't into it. Modern cinema just kind of irritated me. The big bad guy was like smaller than the Red Sonja girl, and I'm like, how do all these people just not kill the big bad guy that are working for him? Like it was just I don't know. It didn't seem right. Nothing fit. I got frustrated like a few minutes into it, and then we watched the original Red Sonja. Family had a great time with that. It was the first time my daughter had seen it, and yeah, it was super fun. But this one, I didn't finish it. I'm not saying I won't, but I just wasn't in the mode at the time, I guess. But it is getting a Blu-ray, This is one, Hard Boiled. I've never seen it, but it comes up on recommendations all the time. Sometimes people mention how it's one of their favorite movies of all time, and yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one a go. So it's gonna be a blind buy for me, but I mean, I kind of get what it is. Uh, and this one comes out November 4th. So again, in the middle of the move. It's got a $50 pre-order price tag though. That's ridiculous. It's not a $50 movie, I don't think. But anyway, it's a Hard Boiled is something I'm interested in, just because it gets mentioned a ton. Matthew says, I'd rather they reissue Satoshi Kon Paprika in 4K than Perfect Blue, but whatever. It's still getting insane money for being out of print. Yeah. I was like, I haven't seen either of those, but I'm not, I've dipped my toe into anime, but like, I don't know. My wife doesn't like it. The kids, iffy. And then everything that gets really recommended to me that's like really good is like kind of inappropriate. And so it's just like, let's see. Yeah, Hard Boiled is something I'm really into. But at the $50 price tag, even with all this new stuff, one, I've never seen the movie, so I mean it's all new to me. But you got new interviews, some commentary stuff, interviews, deleted scenes, audio commentary with director John Woo. Like all this stuff is super fantastic. It's just that $50 pre-order price tag is, even though it's going to go down, it's just I don't know. It's hard to justify that. And Ace Ventura: Pet Detective coming 4K from Viavision. So this is something that comes out December 10th. I freaking don't have Ace Ventura in the collection. I would love to revisit this, so that's something I might pick up. But it's a steelbook. It is coming in a slip box. I don't know if I need that. I might just have to pick up a Blu-ray at some point. I don't know if I love the film enough to get this steelbook, but Viavision is putting this out in December, I think. Yeah, December 10th. So a nice collector's edition. You are getting the steelbook. It is coming in a slip box, which is nice. And this one, 20th anniversary of The Descent, the 4K restoration. Here's the first look of that, so you guys can check that out. But this one is coming out in no release date. Lionsgate Films. I hope it's not one of those Lionsgate Limited, because I do remember liking The Descent, and it's something I would have to pick up there for sure. But yeah, if it's a Lionsgate Limited steelbook only, I'll skip it. And I don't know if there was an actual Blu-ray of this, but I know there's DVD. What is this? Scars of Dracula. Okay, now the other version, or the thing I was on Twitter, was showing something else. But this Scars of Dracula with a nice big chunky box set, that might get me for sure. Obviously, I love this stuff. Studio Canal collector's edition, importing it from the UK, $35 price tag. Yeah, give me a big chunky box set. For $35. I thought we were just going to get a standard regular 4K. Yeah, give it to me. And we're getting new stuff, new 4K restoration, new Fangs Out Dracula, Desire and Disruption, Legacy of the Vampire interview with Tracy Stoker. Nice. So yeah, I could see myself picking up that chunky box set for $35. I mean, it'll be closer to the $50 with the shipping and tax and all that. But yeah, I could easily do that and then sell off or give away my other one. Hard Boiled getting restored is a major deal. We've had nothing but inferior masters since the days of Laserdisc. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's one I'm really looking forward to. And again, huge blind spot. I've never seen it. Looking forward to it. I get that the stuff costs money to restore, but $50 pre-order. And like I said, I get it's going to be cheaper, but like if you start out at that higher price, then it's not much lower for the price before, like you can get it on sale later on or whatever. But yeah, Hard Boiled something I'm into. Just $50. I don't think I could do it. Let's see. And the Horror of Frankenstein, 55th anniversary. Another nice big chunky box set. Yeah, I could see myself like grabbing all these horror Hammer horrors. I don't have this one. I do have Scars of Dracula, but I don't have this one, and I've been enjoying the Hammer horror stuff. So yeah, I could easily see myself picking up both of these if they're still available after the move. I honestly don't see them selling out super fast, but you know, it is the spooky season, even though they come out in November. I guess they could go out. Let's see, what is this? Nothing else I'm like super excited about. But yeah, lots of stuff coming out there. I don't know. Like, was I sleeping on Red Sonja? Was it something I need to really check out? I don't know. Whoop, where'd I go? There we go. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm gonna go spend some family time with the kid, and I got a bit of a busier day today too. I got some plant chores. I got to water plants and figure out what I can move and what I can't move, because man, that's like I got a lot of plants. A lot of plants. I got to figure it all out. But anyway, got to watch these movies. You guys remember to watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh, don't give me a cat. That's fine.